Welcome into the MPW Digital Watch Party. I'm Neil McCready. Chase Parr will be with me here in just a little bit, probably about another hour or so. Chase taking care of a little business this afternoon. Ole Miss and Alabama about to get started. I'm watching on the SEC network. I'm hoping that they change the channel here shortly or give me a little note as to what's coming, because so far I'm getting softball, which is fine because it goes fast, but it's not what I'm looking for at this very moment. Thanks for being with me. I'll give people a little time to get in. We'll hang out for a while today. Ole Miss and Alabama getting started here. It says it's now on the SEC app or SEC alternate. We're available. So hopefully DirecTV is playing along with SEC alternate. They're not with me, so I'll see if I can find it on the app. Someone feel free, if you're in the thread and you have any advice here, let me know. Yeah, I'm trying the alternate, Hobbin, and it's not playing along. DirecTV's bad about SEC alternate just sitting there. Really bad. Hey, Ben. Yeah, I'm looking for it here. It's not available here either yet. That doesn't mean anything. It just means it hasn't started yet. Ole Miss going for a 6-0 start. It would be their best start since 1969. Chase told me this morning that was when Archie Manning was the Ole Miss shortstop. So it's been a minute since the Rebels were this good. 5-0 for the first time since 1972. Ole Miss enters SEC play today a game and a half over Arkansas in the SEC West. Arkansas 3-1 after winning at Mississippi State. So they're saying they've started. Yeah, the game's not available anywhere yet that I can see. But we'll just hang tight. Be all right. We'll get through it. Sometimes I don't think they communicate all of this very well with the SEC network and DirecTV and ESPN. I don't think they plan for this. They put these windows, they put these games up. They put a softball game up and they say it's going to be a 2-hour window. And then the game doesn't end in 2 hours, and they don't have a real plan. They announce that they have a plan, but they don't really have a plan. So I'll let Banker keep us updated as we get started here. We'll be with you for a while. Softball will end eventually. I don't even know who's playing in the softball game. I wasn't paying attention to Auburn and Missouri, I think. Yeah, it's top of the 6th inning in that game, which appears to be in Como. So according to Ole Miss Banker, Ole Miss doesn't score in the first. Headed to the bottom of the first, no score. Derek Diamond going to the mound for Ole Miss, coming off of a really good start last week after a couple of shaky starts. Anyway, the rest of the SEC standings: Mississippi State enters play today 2-2. LSU is 1-3. A&M is 1-3. Alabama 1-4, and Auburn, after losing last night, is 0-4 to start the SEC play. I think they play 7. I'm not going to rampage. Usually softball games get done in 2 hours. This is a failure on the part of the network. It's as simple as that. I mean, they don't ever communicate this, and so I don't think people have a plan. Like it says in the box, it says now on the ESPN app and SEC alternate we're available, which is nowhere. If anybody sees it on their app, let me know. Wait, here we go. I think it is now up on the app. Yeah, so it's up on the app, which might mean that it'll be up on SEC alternate here soon. My guess is someone had to communicate something. Not on DirecTV just yet. Chase will be here in a little bit. He's out taking care of some business right now. He should be here, I'd guess, by 2 o'clock. Yep, so bottom of the first now in Tuscaloosa. The game is on the app if you've got the app. I've got it on my laptop in here next to the computer. Diamond probably going to be all over the place in terms of timing for a little while. Diamond 2-2, 3.96 ERA. He's thrown 25 innings so far this year. Struck out 29, walked 6. As ESPN says here, or SEC Network says here, coming off his best start of the season. So we'll have that. This, by the way, this brought to you today by The Rogue. So whether you're working from home, the office, or the ballpark, look your best with the new spring styles from The Rogue. As we see our communities opening back up, it's time for you to have a fresh look for church, weddings, date night, whatever you choose outside the house. Come see them at The Rogue, 4450 I-55 North in Jackson, or visit them online at their social media accounts or at therogue.com. The Alabama lineup is up. Peyton Wilson leading off for Alabama. Owen Diodati hitting second. Zane Denton, Sam Prater. Drew Williamson playing first base, hitting fifth. TJ Reeves, Andrew Pinckney, Jim Jarvis, and then Jackson Tate, the center fielder, hitting ninth. Barrett wants to know what I would do with the uniforms for the weekend. Well, first thing is I'd get a really good gray uniform that I wasn't embarrassed of, and I'd probably wear that on Friday. I'd probably wear either the navy or the red top. I might just go powder blue the whole damn weekend, the more I think about it. It's a great uniform. It's Ole Miss's best non-home uniform for sure. Alabama leads off the bottom of the first with a single to right. Just got a fastball, pulled it through the 3-4 gap. I'll keep an eye on this riveting Auburn-Missouri softball game and pray that they don't go extra innings. They're bottom of the sixth now in Como. And Missouri leads by a run, so as long as they can hang on, they'll be out pretty quick. It's Alabama with the man on first and nobody out here in the bottom of the first, no score. For home, look, I'm a kind of a traditionalist. I like the white pinstripe look. I like the white on white look. I'd probably wear the powder blue on Sunday like they do because they seem to get a kick out of that. They like it. And then I like the red top with the white pant at home. It's a good look for Ole Miss. I'm not crazy about the navy blue jersey at home, if I'm honest. As you guys know, I don't watch nearly as much Ole Miss baseball as Chase does, or as most of you do. I love Diamond. I think his stuff is terrific. I think he's got – I know how good the other guys are. I think Diamond has huge upside as a future professional pitcher. He's just got a really good motion. He's 94, free and easy right there. He's got good off-speed stuff. 2-1. Looks like he missed a little high with the changeup. Just letting y'all kind of know where I am on this. There's still nobody out in the bottom of the sixth in the Missouri-Auburn softball game. Someone said Jacob says the zone was tight. I didn't see the top of the first, so it's almost impossible. We were scrambling around trying to find where the game might be. Those trying to match up with where we are right now. Diamonds in the stretch on the 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. A foul ball. So Chase will be here in a little bit. We'll talk. I'll take your calls throughout the day. Even if anybody wants to call in, I'll make that there. The number's right there on the screen. I'll pull up Skype so I can see it. I did not see the first game yesterday, TP. I listened to some of it. I had to drive to Tupelo for something yesterday afternoon, and I listened to that coming back, and then actually saw the comeback in the I guess what was that, in the ninth inning when Ole Miss was down 3-1, if I remember right, going to the ninth, and they came back, and then I saw bits and pieces of the second game. I didn't see a lot of it. Just kind of saw where they kind of controlled it. Looked like Nikhazy was terrific the entire game. Nice little at-bat here for the Alabama two-hole hitter. Fouling off some pitches, staying alive for them. I think Ole Miss's bullpen pretty fresh today, considering they got really nice outings from both starters yesterday. Popped him up in foul territory, one away. See, that's a good look. That's a good looking uniform for Alabama. The white pinstripe. That's nice and clean. I'm in favor of pinstripes if you can keep them. That's a nice look. I like that a lot. I don't like their red top that says Bama on it. It doesn't do anything for me. I didn't see the Ole Miss lineup or anything there, so we'll kind of catch up with that as we get back into it. Yeah, it's something about – that's a hell of a changeup right there. He had him looking fastball. You get in a hitter's mind right now when you can break off that kind of a off-speed pitch on your first pitch. Hitter starts thinking. It makes that 94-mile-an-hour fastball probably look like 104. I don't know what Alabama's attendance deal is. Jacob says 25%. For some reason that sounds right, but I don't know. Yep. Ole Miss Banker thinks their governor's planning on loosening the leash at some point next week. I thought I heard that too, that there were some announcements coming in Alabama next week about restrictions and percents and all of that stuff. Two outs in the bottom of the sixth at Missouri. Hey, Blake, what's up with you, man? Oh, it's a hell of a pitch. JM, I don't know if you know this, but there is no double-decker this year. It got canceled weeks ago. Yeah, I'm with you, Eric. This is a classic looking uniform for them. I like it a lot. They shouldn't deviate much from this as their home uniform, if you ask me. All right, Auburn retires Missouri in the bottom of the 6th there in Como, so they'll go to the 7th. Auburn needs a run to tie, 2 to take the lead. I haven't been to Thomas Sewell in forever. I see all the people walking in from the outfield. I don't even. It's been so long I can't remember like the layout of that stadium. It's been ages. I don't think I've covered a game there since I covered an NCAA tournament back when I was covering Auburn, and Auburn played there. Yes, Max. Chase will be here today, probably about 40 minutes from now, maybe less. He's taking care of some business this afternoon that was going to run him past the first pitch, but he'll be with us for sure. I wouldn't do this if he weren't going to be here. Y'all are not here for my baseball coverage. You're here for his. I'm just getting the show started. Once he comes, we'll go to a 2-person shot, and I'll let him talk. Yeah, he went. I'm going to go to a different shot because I hate this. I hate the way this blue does on that. Yeah, see, it's set up for Chase, so we'll go to there. They have done a nice job with their grandstands down the side. I don't remember that stadium being quite that nice, but it's been a long time. Diamond very clearly thinks that they're going to try to run here with 2 outs and get a runner into scoring position. And they were right. He took off, stole second base. Throw was kind of high. Got a pretty good jump. On my screen, it's a 1-1 count. He just threw a off-speed pitch away. So it's 1-1 to Sam Prater, the catcher for Alabama. Got the call on a would appear to be a slider, I guess, slider curveball. I haven't seen him pitch enough to know everything, his entire arsenal, but got a little bit, probably got a couple inches off the edge right there. So it's 1-2. He's in. You're the hitter here. You're really guessing because he's thrown 3 pitches now for strikes. Two and two with the fastball in the dirt. Ooh. Same pitch that got called a strike earlier in the at bat gets called a ball. I didn't think he swung. That pitch location was exactly where it was a strike a minute ago. Diamond a little frustrated. Missouri and out away from a win over Auburn on SEC Network, so I suspect they'll switch to the Ole Miss game pretty quick. Diamond loses him after getting ahead 1-2, so he walks the hitter, asking where the pitch was. He's at 22 pitches in the first inning. Not the start he was looking for to get going. So 2 on and 2 out for Alabama. No score, bottom first. Drew Williamson's the hitter, first baseman, hitting .224 for the season, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs, and OPS just under 700. So he's got some command issues right now. He's frustrated at that umpire, and he's letting that get to him a little bit. Just my observation. He's irritated right now. Got himself into a little trouble here at 2-0. You don't want to give in and groove something right here. He challenged him. Fastball kind of right down the middle, 94 miles an hour, and fouled it off. Auburn down to its last strike in the game on the SEC Network, in case you're probably not following along. I'm watching it just so I can tell you guys when you can turn, or when you should turn, I should say. Upstairs with the fastball, 3-1 now. Got to be careful here because you're looking dead red as a hitter. You're looking for a fastball inner half that you can pull. Missouri beats Auburn in softball, so I'll let you know when they switch the programming. He got a fastball, but he placed it pretty well. He got it on the outer half, and he was a little tardy on that, so counts full. Traveling time for the runners. A double's going to score 2 here. Here's the full count pitch. Oh! I guess he says that's outside. I'm going to guess Bianco has to come out and calm him down because he's a little worked up. And I don't blame him right here. Okay, they've switched on the SEC Network to Ole Miss and Alabama baseball. Just so you know, it's on the TV. So catching up now, it's 1-1 to the hitter. That was his 30th pitch of the first for Derek Diamond. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and a 1-1 count. Got the strike there at the knees, 1-2. Got a couple of pitches to work with. Obviously, you don't want to go to a full count here with the bases loaded. But you could try something here, and then you got to go get him at 2-2. Got him on the changeup. Really good pitch there. So Alabama leaves them loaded in the first. Go to the second, no score. Ole Miss coming up to bat. Diamond is not a happy camper. Phone lines are open. If anybody wants to call in, I'd be happy to take a call. 662-259-0991 is that number. It's going to get you the rest of the SEC schedule for today in SEC baseball. Ole Miss and Alabama, as you know, they're started. Kentucky and Auburn have gotten started as well. Arkansas, game 2 of that series at Mississippi State is starts in about half an hour in Starkville, 2 o'clock. So does Georgia at Texas A&M. That game starts at 2. Florida and South Carolina get started at 3. LSU and Tennessee tonight at 5. Vanderbilt and Missouri at 5 as well. And then Kentucky and Auburn play at 6 o'clock tonight in game 2 of that series. Kentucky won the first one. Chase will be with us. I guess I need to put that on a scroll or something. Chase will be back in just a little bit. He will be here in a little bit. He was going to miss the first hour or so of this because he's taking care of some business, but he'll be here. I would guess around 2 o'clock. And then I will happily turn the microphones over to Chase, and I'll sit back, and he can tell you what he sees because you're here to hear him with baseball, which does not offend me at all. Football did not happen this morning, at least from a media standpoint, because of the expected weather. The weather did not happen, but there was no media op for us. The next football media opportunity is post-practice on Tuesday on the Zoom. We're supposed to have a viewing opportunity, I guess, the same one you guys will have on Saturday, this coming Saturday. So when that happens, we'll bring that to you. We haven't had a chance to see this team practice at all, but they practiced. I couldn't tell if they practiced last night or if they practiced this morning, but they've had 3 practices this week, so they're 20% of their way through spring drills, getting ready for the April the 24th Grove Bowl. Tim Elko at the plate for Ole Miss, down in the count 0-2, took a strike, and then fouled one off. It's Elko and then Dunhurst and Jacob Gonzalez due up this inning. Knoxville Poser, TJ McCants, John Rice Plumlee getting a start in right field for Ole Miss, hitting ninth. Yeah, this guy does work fast, Leif. Base hit into left for Elko, so Ole Miss gets the leadoff man on here in the second inning. You got to think this is one of those games that if Ole Miss could jump ahead early, it'd be hard for Alabama to feel too terribly good about things. Cole, nothing's on the egg today because they were talking about terrible weather and stuff, and so I didn't want to have the egg going at 300, 400 degrees or something, and then a storm comes through so nothing is on the egg today. I mean, I'm glad they missed on the weather, but your fear here is that they've missed on the weather so much this week that the next time they put out the warnings, no one's going to pay much attention to them around here, and then something's going to happen. Oh. Just a bit high. I guess that slipped. Man, he threw that ball 20 feet in the air. So Elko to second, 2-1 count here. Nobody out, top second. Man, you don't exactly dig in on this guy right now. He's throwing one about 20 feet above the strike zone and then throws a fastball about 56 feet. So that's a walk. Ole Miss has the first 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the second inning. It did bounce off that brick wall. It got back to him quick. So Jacob Gonzalez is up. He's 0 for 7 for the series. A couple of walks and a run, hitting .273, 3 homers, 16 RBIs. Chance to do some damage here. That's if you're the catcher. You're like, don't dig in. I don't know where it's going. I don't really mind him going after that first pitch right there though, because he's going to throw fastball. He's going to try to spot a fastball to get ahead. He's going to try to. I don't mind trying to jump on that. He's 2-1 here in the count though, and right here you're wanting to be disciplined as a hitter and get something that you're looking for. You don't want to swing at his pitch. You want to get what you're looking for here. You have a pitch to give. That's not terrible. He hit a high bouncer to second, moves the runners over. Second and third, 1 out. Knox Leposer with a big RBI opportunity here for Ole Miss. First pitch swinging, fouls one off. I don't mind the aggressive approach at all. I know some people do, but a lot of times that first pitch is the best pitch you see in an at-bat. He got something there. I thought he could have driven to right field, and he tried to kind of roll over it. So he's down in the count 0-2. You got to protect now. Don't want to strike out here. You want contact. Want to at least drive in a run, ground ball, something like that. Struck him out on a fastball. Looked like it was a little off the plate, but you got to be protecting right there. You have to assume you can't sit there and watch that one. So 2 outs after the first 2 reach to open the inning. Alabama an out away from getting away from it, or getting out of it, I should say. Second and third, 2 outs now. Oh, and 1 to McCants. That's a really good first pitch. He was looking fastball and got a breaking ball and swung over it. Cants fouls one off his feet. He's now down 0-2. He's in a spot where he's got to protect. No, he did not go. Ooh, it's close. He swung at a pitch that actually hit him in the foot. Badly fooled. So Alabama gets out of it in the top of the second, go to the bottom of the second, no score in Tuscaloosa. Pretty good off-speed pitch right there. That thing had some serious movement. When you get two, that's something to be noted here on this pitcher. It's a couple of times now that he's been pretty nasty when he got ahead 0-2 with that off-speed stuff. So when you get that fastball early in the count that you can do something with, you got to take advantage of it. Swing was more awkward than the way Tom Brady kisses his son. Kentucky leads Auburn 4-2 in the top of the second in Auburn. I think we were talking about standings. Kentucky is off to a 3-1 start in the league going into today's game. Auburn, as we mentioned, is 0-4. Tigers trying to get off the schneid. In the East, the standings are Vanderbilt's 4-1 after another tremendous start from Jack Leiter last night, who, if you're Pittsburgh with that first pick, you're starting to really have to think about Leiter, the way he has looked. Tennessee and Kentucky and Florida, all 3-1. South Carolina's 2-2. Georgia 1-3. Missouri 1-4 heading into action today. We were talking about this morning, Chase and I. Ole Miss, after today, they have a 9-game stretch in the SEC, 3 at Florida, 3 at home against Arkansas, and then 3 at Mississippi State. A win today really puts Ole Miss in a great spot where even if you went 4-5 in that stretch, you're 10-5 at the turn in the league. And I'd take that all day. Anything above that is tremendous. And even if a 3-6 run, which I think this team's better than that, but even a 3-6 run would have you 9-6 at the turn, which is on pace for 18 wins, and 18 wins is going to make you a national seed. So this is a chance to really create some cushion for Ole Miss. They went into these first 2 weekends against Auburn and against Alabama needing to get to 4-2 at least, and they're already above that and have a chance to go 6-0. So today's a big opportunity, obviously. The thing to watch on Diamond, of course, I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know, is here he is operating in the bottom of the second against Andrew Pinckney, and he's already at 34 pitches. So he needs a fast couple of innings here to be able to last very long today. I tell you, looking at Leiter, Sammy, I wouldn't bet against him being able to play linebacker. It's a well put together, intense dude, but he's going to make a ton of money pitching in the bigs. Alabama leads off the second with a double from Pinckney. Diamond got a lot more of the plate right there than he wanted to. Again, Chase will be here sometime in the next 20, 30 minutes, be my guess. Jim Jarvis, the hitter for Alabama, 265 for the season, no home runs, 6 RBIs, 721 OPS. Another California kid, if I read that correctly, from San Diego. If Chase were here, I'd ask about this. His velocity has dropped a little this inning. He was throwing 94, 93 pretty consistently in the first. He's thrown several fastballs here at about 91, and some of that could be intentional. Just maybe he had a little too much juice going early and got frustrated, or because he's only 39 pitches in. He shouldn't be tiring at all at this point. One away for Alabama. The runner moves up to third. Yeah, what makes Leiter so good, Blake, is that he gives away absolutely nothing on the mound. His delivery is so consistent, so repeatable. Everything looks the same coming out of his hand. So from a tunneling standpoint, if you ever watch Pitching Ninja, to a hitter, it's almost impossible to know what's coming until it's too late. So throws everything for a strike, and he's a bulldog. I mean, he's relentless out there. Just doesn't give away anything. I was telling Chase, I watched a replay of Vanderbilt's first game in that series with Rocker, and Rocker's terrific. But I've been saying this for a while, and I'm more and more convinced that this is going to be my opinion. Whether I'm right or not remains to be seen for a long time. But I think Leiter's a safer bet. So he's 0-2 here, runner at third with one out. Obviously, he would love a strikeout right here. There's a number of things he could do at 0-2 that he could get one. It's probably going to get the run in. It does. Good piece of hitting there for whatever his name was, Jensen or something. So 1-0 Alabama. But if you're Diamond right here, you got a chance. If you can work through this guy quickly, you had a quicker inning where you can go a little bit longer. Peyton Wilson, the hitter, singled in his first at bat for Alabama. The leadoff guy. And he's 2 for 2 in 2 innings. That's a good start for him. Not what Diamond wants. Single up the middle. Yes, Max. Leiter is draft eligible. Pittsburgh and Texas pick 1-2, and you got to think they're going to be taking the 2 Vanderbilt pitchers. Although there are some high school hitters in this draft that scouts love, and that's where you get arguments about what you should take right there. Do you take the high school kid at 18 with all the tools in the world, and where you develop him with 3 years in your system and he breaks into the major leagues as a 21-year-old rookie, or do you take the more polished college pitcher, give him a year in the minors and bring him up at 22 or 23, and a lot of that just, I would think with Leiter, it's such a safe bet because you're not going to have to change anything with him at all. And Rocker's upside is off the charts. I mean, his ceiling is really high. Travis wants to know if I know what pitchers came off the COVID list. I don't. I mean, I remember kind of hearing some names, kind of heard different things. I don't really think anybody actually had COVID. I think they had a false positive, and a couple of guys were roommates with the guy that had the false positive. So they had to go through that whole – you still have to go through like three days in a row of negative tests before you're cleared. I'll just say this, Max, man, if you pass on these guys, almost had it, fouled it out of the catcher. Poser couldn't hold on to it. If you pass on one of those guys for a high school hitter, you better get it right. That's the kind of thing that could haunt you for a long time. He's at 50 pitches through 1 2/3 innings right now. Diamond is. He really needs to get out of this quickly. He's putting himself in a position where it's going to be a really short day. Got to give Alabama's bats some credit. They fouled off some good pitches and made Diamond work, and they've benefited from a weird strike zone a little bit, but they've run his count up. If that was part of their plan, they've executed that part. Gets out of it with the fly ball to left, so headed to the third, 1-0 Alabama. Plumlee, Bench, and Peyton Chardonnay due up for Ole Miss. Someone do me a favor and keep me up to date with the Loyola game, Loyola and Oregon State. No, I don't think this is Alabama's ace, Blake. I think this is kind of one of their midweek guys. Their ace is out with some sort of a health issue. He hasn't pitched in league play yet. Kentucky now leads Auburn 4-2 in the top of the third. So that game about the same pace as Ole Miss Alabama so far. Can you imagine if Loyola makes a Final Four for the second time essentially in 3 years? I mean, how the hell does that happen? That guy's done one hell of a job, Porter Moser. Who's in that region? It's Loyola, Oregon State, Villanova, and is it Villanova? No, Villanova and Baylor in the other one. Ever since I basically wrapped up losing the bracket, I've almost stopped paying attention. Josh wants to know my thoughts on 40's article on Will Wade. It was a rehash. It was a repetition. It was the same article that he's written before. Investigation ongoing. They were pretty frustrated in Baton Rouge. I know that. I mean, they were really frustrated with that story. Plumlee leading off for Ole Miss. 1-1 count after hitting a foul ball down the line. I don't know what Texas does. Texas, with basketball, has this visions of grandeur. They think they can go get almost anybody. How'd that not hit him? Syracuse and Houston. Oh, the rest of that. Look, I think both of those teams are really good. From a style standpoint, you'd love to see a Loyola-Syracuse game. Plumlee got fooled a little bit there. Fly ball to right field, one away for Ole Miss leading off the third. This Deshaun Watson thing, Blake, is 20 different accusers right now. 20. It's a nightmare for the NFL. An absolute nightmare for the NFL. Back to the top of the lineup for Ole Miss and Justin Bench. Hitting .310, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. It's an excuse me foul ball right there. 1-1 count. Yep, Brett, this is the first baseball live stream. We're going to kind of see what it looks like. It'll be better when Chase gets here because no one's here to hear me talk about baseball. Chase will be here in a little bit, and then we'll be with you through the end, and we'll probably do a little bit of a quick wrap show, and if anybody wants to call, they can. Three and one to Bench. Yeah, there's no hard evidence yet, that's for sure. Just the number of accusations. Number gets big. Full count to Bench. Man, this guy for Alabama, he works fast. He does not waste time between pitches. Bench gets hit with a pitch, off-speed pitch, hit him in the side. I don't think he's any worse for the wear. So one on and one out for Ole Miss with Chatney due up. Yeah, Max, talking about Chris Beard to Texas. The thing with Beard is he's got a really good gig where he is, and he's got a big move ahead of him. Do you make that move to Texas, or do you wait for something bigger? Boy, he didn't miss that. He was way out in front of it, but he got all of that. He does kind of look like Craig Biggio in the box. I've never heard that comparison before, but he does. You got a pitcher that works fast and a hitter that works fast. His at-bats, I mean, he's 0-2 quick. Line out to left field. He was very aggressive in that appearance and hit 3 balls pretty hard, but nothing to show for it. So 2 out, 1 on for Ole Miss here in the top of the third. I had to get rid of one of the three major pro sports. Which one would I choose? Wow. I'd have to think about that. I mean, obviously you're not getting rid of the NFL because there's too much money. I guess today I'd say Ole Miss goes down fairly easily in the top of the third. 1-0 Alabama going to the bottom of the third. Middle of the order up for them. Denton, Prater, and Williamson against Derek Diamond. I guess I'd get rid of today. I'd probably say the NBA. I'd like to see what Major League Baseball looks like this year. I'll be honest, Major League Baseball was hard to watch last year. I was thankful for it because of all the pandemic stuff. And when they got started in July, it was like, oh, thank God, it's sports. But my mindset at that time was such, okay, well, if they can do it, that I know that all these college ADs are watching this. I know the commissioners are watching closely. Can Major League Baseball navigate through a 60-game season? And so much of my focus as a sports fan, if you will, was on how this impacts college football. I really didn't pay a lot of attention to the product. And there was times when the product was okay, and there were times when I really noticed how empty Wrigley Field was, or I really noticed how empty Miller Park was, or Busch. It felt weird to watch a Cardinals game and there's nobody in the stands in St. Louis, to watch a Reds game and there's nobody in Great America Ballpark, which is such an intimate ballpark. It just felt weird, and sometimes it got kind of depressing. And so I want to see what Major League Baseball does and how aggressive they are about letting fans in the stands and getting some of the stuff that makes baseball back. Because so much of baseball is about fans there and enjoying a summer's day and, you know, a cold beer and all that stuff. And I'm just kind of curious to see what they do. But look, Major League Baseball's Players Association this week made a big deal about the legislation in Georgia that was passed this week. The All-Star Game's supposed to be in Atlanta, and they want to move the game out of Atlanta now, the players do, and as a punishment to Georgia. And some of these sports leagues need to be, in my opinion, careful a little bit because people don't want constant politics in their sports. All right, Derek Diamond back to work in the third. He's 1-1 count here on the number 3 hitter for Alabama. He's at 54 pitches. Really needs, broken record at this point, really needs an efficient inning. Leadoff man flies out to McCants, one away. Good start there for Diamond. 4 pitch out. Yeah, Leif, I heard the Calipari stuff. That just feels like agent talk. But who knows? Maybe he looks to a new challenge or something. I don't know. It makes no sense to leave Kentucky for Texas. Another fly ball. McCants is there. Makes a nice play. 1 pitch, 1 out there. So 5 pitches, 2 outs for Derek Diamond. This would be a opportunity right here to work a hitter quickly and sort of reset a little bit from a pitch count standpoint. Yeah, Oklahoma looking for a coach now. So 8-pitch inning there for, if I'm doing my math right, 8-pitch inning for Derek Diamond. 3 up, 3 down, 3 fly balls to the outfield. So 1-0 Alabama going to the fourth. Tim Elko will be leading off for the Rebels. That's exactly what he needed there. Kyle, thanks for the super chat. Is Chase buying us beers if you're in Tuscaloosa? Yeah, Chase is absolutely buying beers. Big party at Chase's house next week. He'll have coolers and coolers and coolers full of beer. Kruger had one hell of a career at Oklahoma, by the way. I mean, when you take a step back and look at his career at Florida, at UNLV, at Oklahoma, man, that guy, he was a winner. I think he's going to retire to UNLV, watch his son coach, and probably go into the grandfather business a little bit. But he was class act. Yeah, the Indiana job's open, the Texas job's open, Oklahoma's open. Indiana set its sights super high, and so far they are going over. I have a very unpopular opinion about that job. That's one of those jobs, to me, at least, just because that job was once a great job doesn't mean it's still a great job. So, Kyle, you're in Tuscaloosa now. Hopefully you avoided the weather the other day. Alabama got hit hard. All right, Tim Elko's up for Ole Miss here in the top of the fourth. Hello to Avery. Hope you're doing well. Kentucky and Auburn now in the top of the fourth. No score there. Arkansas and Mississippi State have gotten started in Starkville. No score there, top one. Same thing with Texas A&M and Georgia and College Station. No score, top of the first inning. Oh, he's mad at himself there. He got something, he just kind of missed it. Again, for anybody just joining who's wondering where Chase is, he should be here relatively soon. You're not going to sell that. 2-2 pitch. He misses by at least 5 inches off the outside corner, and the catcher tries to drag it back and hold it. If you're an umpire, that pisses you off. Base hit for Elko, sharply hit single to left field. If you're an umpire, that pisses you off because now you're trying to buy a pitch that's clearly a ball. You do that when a pitch is an inch and a half off the corner. Bring it back just a little and hold it. You might get that here and there, but you do that stuff too much, you're not doing your pitcher any favors because the umpire starts going, okay, well, we'll call this thing literally. That's double play ground ball, and I thought he was safe at first. I think he thought he was too. We'll see if there's a replay here. First pitch swinging, really didn't get a pitch you could do much with. Hit a little chopper to third. Got the out at second. And the throw to first, really close. I think he's safe at first base if they appeal it. Yeah, Travis, bang, bang from bang bang, it was really close. When you get the replay, I think it's pretty obvious that he's safe. I could see how you could miss that. Because you're watching the bag and listening for the glove, and it's so close that it. Yeah, they probably do rely on replay. Here's the problem, though. I mean, we've now seen what 3-4 angles. They've seen them too. I don't know why this takes so long. This is what drives me crazy. You've seen it. You know he's safe. There's nothing to discuss. He's clearly safe. There's no reason to keep looking at it. It's going to look exact same the more you do it. And so the review takes 3-4 minutes when this is all over. And this is what drags the game on. And the game's moving at a nice clip. You're in the fourth inning, 1 hour in. You don't need another angle. He's safe. His foot's down. The ball's not to the glove yet. He's out at second. He's safe at first. And he didn't interfere at second base. Are they still reviewing? I don't understand this. You look at it a couple of times, you can see what it is and go. Georgia has scored 2 in the top of the first at Texas A&M. Bulldogs lead 2-0, still top of the first there. Arkansas, Mississippi State, still no score, top of the first. And Kentucky and Auburn in the bottom of the fourth, still 4-2, Kentucky over Auburn. This would really frustrate me if I watched a lot of this. It's going to be the exact same thing every time. This is like me watching the Bartman play over and over and over, expecting Alou to finally catch the ball. All right, so here we go. Yep, just like I could have told you 2 minutes ago. Runner's out at second, safe at first. The only thing I can think of is maybe they were watching to see if they thought there was some interference here or something. But there's not. He slides into the base. It's clean. One out, man on first. 1-0 count to Jacob Gonzalez, hitting sixth for Ole Miss. He's 0 for 1 today. Fouled that one off his foot, 1-2. Yeah, they had to be looking for interference at second. But you watched that slide one time, and it was obvious it was a real clean slide. He slid right into the base. It was on a straight path. He didn't overslide. He didn't slide over the bag. It was an easy. There was nothing to review there. Two and two to Gonzalez, pitcher for Alabama at 53 pitches here through 3 1/3. He's been pretty good with that off-speed pitch with 2 strikes. Throws that one in the dirt. Catcher recovers pretty easily. An interesting spot here if you start Dunhurst here with the full count. Probably swung at ball 4 there, but he was protecting, and they were running Dunhurst there. That's a good piece of hitting there from Gonzalez. That was a pretty good pitcher's pitch right there. Got under that one. Fly out to we'll pop up to the third baseman. 2 outs for Ole Miss here in the 4th. Got a pitch he could have done something with and wasn't able to do it. Oregon State leads 10-9 at the under 8 timeout over Loyola. It's an offensive showdown. 12-10 now. Okay, 12-10 Loyola over Oregon State. Poser probably had the biggest at-bat of the game. There were 2 men on second and third for Ole Miss, I guess, in what was that, the second inning, and 1 out, and he struck out in an at-bat where he needed to make contact. He's down 0-2 again. When you're struggling as a hitter, and he is, you feel like you walk to the plate down 0-2. Poser has now seen 6 pitches and has struck out twice. He's not having a great day. So Ole Miss fails to do anything in the 4th. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th in Tuscaloosa, 1-0 Alabama. Let's see. Scoreboard time, if you guys are interested. Kentucky still leads Auburn 4-2, bottom of the 4th. Mississippi State has scored 3 in the bottom of the 1st in Starkville. The Bulldogs lead Arkansas 3-0. And Georgia and Texas A&M, this says still top 1. Georgia with a 2-0 lead in College Station. So second day in a row in that Arkansas-Mississippi State game that someone has jumped off to a big lead early. Thanks to everybody being with us. Again, thanks to the Rogue for sponsoring this show. We're going to do some series wrap-ups shows kind of as the SEC season goes along. We're going to do some watch parties as the season goes along as well. Just a kind of a way to, like we did in football, just a way to sort of accompany you watching the game. letting you hang out with you guys, hang out with us, let us hang out with you. So back to the bottom of the fourth in Tuscaloosa, Alabama has a run on 3 hits. Ole Miss no runs on 2 hits. Neither team has committed an error to this point, I should say. Derek Diamond has given up 3 hits, an earned run. He's walked 2, struck out 2. Had a really efficient third inning after a very inefficient first and a bit of a struggle in the second. Kind of maybe found his groove a little bit in the third. As he heads to the fourth, he's now thrown 60 pitches. He needs another really efficient inning here to sort of catch up a little. All right, Ben, welcome to the show. Chase should be here shortly. He's doing some business this afternoon, but he should be here quick. Brett's a good question. I think we're going to do watch parties for games that are on television, not the Network Plus, but SEC Network or ESPNU or whatever. And then we're going to do some series wrap-up shows where we take calls and that kind of thing. I think that's sort of the plan. Chase did not get arrested, to the best of my knowledge, Banker. I think I would have gotten that call by now. Closing on Kiffin's house. Hit that one hard, but right at the shortstop. 2 away for Diamond, who's 8 pitches into the fourth and 2 outs, nobody on. So he's kind of catching up a little bit. Yeah, I don't have it loud enough to know what they're talking about. What were they How did they incorporate Sammy Sosa into an Ole Miss Alabama baseball game? You can absolutely, JM, send super chats to help with the bail money. No doubt. NIT Women's Championship. Yeah, the pitching ninja stuff is awesome, Avery. So a 10-pitch inning, if I'm doing my math correct there for Diamond, settled down, kind of got into a position where he can give them some length today. So 1-0 going to the fifth. Alabama still hanging on to a lead. I've got a red and white pitching ninja shirt that before he started doing college stuff, it just looked like a pitching ninja shirt. Now people are going to think it's an Alabama shirt or an Arkansas shirt or Indiana shirt. That's the only negative about him doing that, is that now people guess what your shirt is. It used to be a really generic shirt that I could wear all the time. Or an Oklahoma shirt. Joe Boo's here. I mean, he still has his rum. His rum did get moved a little bit, so now his rum's closer to him, so maybe that'll help the bats. You do not mess with Joe Boo's rum. They're bottom of the first now at Texas A&M, still 2-0 Georgia. $16 all in the NCAA tournament. Oregon State and Loyola, 4:22 to go in the first, according to Sammy. I'll take Sammy's word for it. It's a good point, Avery. I'll just say guess. Because it could be a lot. I mean, a lot of schools wear red and white. What was the over-under on Oregon State Loyola? All right, McCants leading off for Ole Miss here in the top of the fifth. Eight, 9, and 1 for Ole Miss, if I'm correct with where they are on the lineup. $138.5 is the over-under. Man, if you got the under, you're feeling good. 3-0 to McCants. I know nothing about this pitcher, like what he typically does and that kind of thing. So you don't know whether he's kind of hitting a wall or what his situation is. He's at 64 pitches. This will be his 65th pitch. 3-1 to McCants. Dude works fast, though. He does not slow down, especially with nobody on. Full count. I'm going to guess he tries that little curveball thing he does again. I was wrong. He went fastball right there on the black or just off the black, 93 miles an hour, gets the strikeout of McCants. Comes back from 3-0 pretty efficiently. I mean, that might be just off the plate, but you got to protect there. You can't take that pitch. Here's Plumlee hitting .222, a home run, 3 RBIs. I don't know if you guys know this, but he also plays football and the piano. And Ole Miss has a guard that played basketball with John Morant and Zion Williamson. If you hear those things, you know you're watching an SEC network production. I can barely hear it, and I heard the word football. I mean, the talking points for them are remarkable. Fastball away, another full count. He's at 71 pitches. You're not going to get this pitch. It's not a strike. It's high and away. If I'm that umpire, I am not happy with this catcher. Plumlee works a walk, turn the lineup over. It'd be the third time through, so this is when it gets interesting for a pitcher. He's at 73 pitches. He's been really effective so far, but now these guys have seen him twice. This is the third time through a lineup. This is where it gets kind of interesting. Yeah, he didn't go. Yeah, I don't run here with Plumlee. I know you guys in the thread are talking about running. I want to make this guy work a little. I want to see what he does third time through a lineup against top of the lineup hitters. Got a break there because he got a fastball got a strike call off the edge. Yeah, Travis, he really expanded the zone there. Totally changed the at-bat. At 2-0, it's a completely different thing than a 1-1 count. And now you're 1-2 and you have to protect, and totally changes the at-bat. And he had to protect. Grounds out to the right side. Plumlee moves up to second. So a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, but totally different deal. You'd love to see what that at-bat would have looked like without the umpire really expanding his zone. Boy. He's extended the zone at least 2-3 inches consistently off that outside corner, and he's able to throw his off-speed stuff for a strike. That makes him – that's really helped him out. He's pitched well. I'll give the kid credit. He's taking advantage of what the umpire gives him. Fooled him with off-speed there. He was looking for a fastball. It was like swinging from the heels. So ball and 2 strikes to Peyton Chattenay. That's going to be a single. They're going to hold Plumlee. Left fielder got to it quickly. So first and third for Ole Miss with 2 outs, and you couldn't send him there. I mean, that was a decent throw, and he'll be out. Because the ball's in the left fielder's glove before Plumlee even got to third base. Little scoreboard update as Alabama has a visit to the mound. Georgia now leads Texas A&M 5-0 that game in the top of the second in College Station. Kentucky still leads Auburn 4-2 that game now bottom of the fifth, and Mississippi State continues to lead Arkansas 3-0 that game now in the bottom of the second in Starkville. This guy's running out of gas. His off-speed stuff doesn't have the same bite to it. It's got a little more loop to it. I'm not even talking about that pitch. He just doesn't. He's the tank's running low. Even that one where he gets a swing and a miss with Graham. Even that one didn't have the same bite to it. was a pretty good one there. 1-2 count, so he's a pitch away from working his way out of it. Hit him. So bases loaded for Ole Miss here in the fifth. Got him right off that front foot. He's at 85 pitches. Threw a couple of decent curveballs in that last, or change-ups or whatever, in that last at-bat. But you got to wonder whether he really trusts it right now. And Elko's had two really good swings off of him today already. It's a big opportunity for Ole Miss. Yep. That's going to score at least two, and they're going to send the third runner, and he is going to score. 3-1 Ole Miss. You could see that coming a mile away. He went dead red fastball against the one hitter in the Ole Miss lineup that's really bothered him today. And Elko was ready for it. He sets up away. The ball's right down the middle, center cut, and Elko gets all of it. Yeah, that ball kind of, if you watch it, it kind of tails back over the middle of the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs, everybody's running on contact. That's getting it done right there. That's what you want out of your veteran. That one gets away. Elko will move up to third. He might come score. He's going to try to score here. I think he's going to make it. Yep. Elko scores. The pitch got away from the catcher. It's kind of reminiscent of Game 7 of the World Series when a pitch got away from David Ross, and I think it was Jason Kipnis scored all the way from second base. They couldn't find it. Halftime in the NCAA tournament, Oregon State 24, Loyola of Chicago 16. Thank you to Sammy for the super chat. This money will go towards Chase's bail. This is Chase's way of just telling me, by God, you're gonna do this baseball game. I think it's 3-0 count now to Dunhurst. I got to think this is it for the Alabama starter here. Third time through the lineup for a starting pitcher is a different deal, man. Oh, did they call that a pass ball? I would have called that a wild pitch. Gets the ground ball to Dunhurst. Ole Miss retired in the fifth, but not before they get 4 runs. 4-1 Ole Miss now going to the bottom of the fifth. This is where you want a shutdown inning out of Derek Diamond. You want him to be as efficient this inning as he was the last two. That sets the tone really for the rest of the day. I don't know which one I believe, Chase becoming Meghan Markle's spiritual advisor or teeing off on 18. Keep you guys updated on the scores around the league. It's still 4-2 Kentucky over Auburn. The game now in the bottom of the fifth on the Plains. Mississippi State still leads Arkansas 3-0 in the bottom of the second, and Georgia has a 5-1 lead over Texas A&M in the bottom of the second. Mississippi State leads Louisiana Tech in the Final Four of the NIT, 32-21 for the 7 people in the world that care. I'm sure they care in Ruston. I'm sure they care in Starkville, and that's about it. Is it bad, Avery, as a Louisiana boy, to admit that I'm not crazy about crawfish? It's not my favorite thing. I mean, I like them fine, but it's just not my favorite thing. They have to be done really well for me to enjoy them, like to look forward to having them. All right, here we go. Bottom of the fifth. Big moment for Diamond here because you want to be efficient. He had that really difficult first inning where he got frustrated at the umpire, got squeezed, got frustrated, gave up a run. I guess he got out of it in the first, actually. The second, he kind of carried over a little bit. Still was got a sword swing there. He was a little inefficient in the second. Then he settled down in the third and the fourth. That got out of those two innings with 18 combined pitches, and here he is ahead of Jackson Tate, 0-2 to lead off the fifth. Yeah, my thing on crawfish, and I've always been this way, is if you're going to go to all that trouble to boil crawfish, just boil shrimp. More food, less work. It's better. It's not anywhere near as gross. And I don't care what anybody says. If you don't purge the crawfish correctly, it's gross. Ground ball to third. It'll be a long throw. And he's not going to be in time. He got down the line pretty good. He chopped that one pretty high. And once the third baseman took a step back to get it, you knew it was going to be a tough play. On replay, that was closer than I thought it was. He beat it. Wasn't a bad throw at all from bench. That cat got up the line. Boy, that's a good off-speed pitch right there. He's throwing 92, 93 consistently, and then he looks the exact same way and lets 77 go. You're not hitting that unless you're looking for it. And if you're up there looking for changeup, you're not going to even think about touching the fastball. Ben says he's not big on shrimp either. Boil some crawfish and grill burgers and dogs is better than shrimp. That is the question. If you can have a shrimp/crawfish boil or if you can just grill burgers and dogs, which would you prefer? Got to think about that. All right, this is not what Diamond wanted to do. It's 3-1 count here on pitch number 77 coming up. He needs a ground ball, middle of the infield. He'd appreciate that. You don't want to walk a hitter here. Oh, good pitch. So, full count. I don't think Alabama starts the runner here. That would be real risky. Oh, they did start the runner, and Chotney kind of booted it. Runner moves to third. So runners at the corners now for Alabama with nobody out here in the fifth. So Alabama started the runner. Chotney comes over and kind of kicks it. Slips a couple of times, kind of lost his footing. So Alabama brings the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the fifth. Chotney pretty frustrated with himself. All right, sacrifice fly to left, 4-2 now, but he gets the out. If you limit him to that, that's not the end of the world. One out, runner at first base. Having the Bell's Lager of the Lakes. It's a Pilsner. I noticed yesterday as it got warmer that already my beer taste buds have changed. When it's cold, I like the Bell's Two Hearted Ale and stuff like that. And yesterday I wanted one of those sours because I like those a little bit when it's warm. I like the shandies when it's warm. And suddenly I like Pilsners and things that when it's cold, I really don't care for them. And when it gets warmer like this, I know it's like a mental brain thing, but already shifted. Diamond at 80 pitches. 1-1 count here with one out in the bottom of the fifth. Yeah, Travis, you throw it in. You give up the run there. You want to make it a 1-run inning. You don't try to make a play at the plate where the odds of you getting the out there are very slim, and then you allow the runner at first to move into second and get into scoring position. Brian, I like Guinness fine. It's fine. Sometimes we'll go into a bar if I'm like in a pub or something. Sometimes I'll have a Guinness just for the heck of it because I like it, but it's not something I typically keep at home. Oh, really nice play by Chotney. So that ground ball was hit to the right side, went off the top of Elko's glove. Chotney fielded it off the kind of the carom and made a perfect throw to Diamond covering. That was a really good play. That could have been a disaster right there. And really athletic play by Diamond to get over there. I like Derek Diamond. I said this at the beginning of the show. I watch him pitch, and there's no doubt in my mind he's going to pitch in the major leagues. That was a really good play. Alabama with an RBI single, 4-3 now. Not the inning that Derek Diamond wanted. Yeah, this is kind of reminding me of my days as a student at Ole Miss when she said, yeah, I'll be there any minute now. Yeah. This is when you've been at the bar for a while and you're like, maybe she's not coming. Austin Miller up in the bullpen for Ole Miss. Diamond at 84 pitches. Oh, it's a good pitch. 79 miles per hour on an off-speed pitch that just grazed the inside corner. When I was bartending, though, no joke, that would happen to guys. They'd show up at the bar and they had a quote date coming, and she never made it. I always kind of felt bad. I mean, partly you were laughing, and then you kind of felt bad. It depended on the guy. Sometimes it was a guy that you could tell probably deserved it, and sometimes it was a guy that, bless his heart. Oh. That's got to be a strike. That's been a strike all day. Two count. Got away from Leposer. Runner moves into scoring position. Big spot here for Derek Diamond. Yeah, Diamond, so he hates this umpire. Got him with the change up, and you can tell just by the body language that he's unhappy. Heading to the 6th in Tuscaloosa, Ole Miss with a 4-3 lead now as Alabama answers with a couple of runs. So pretty good ball game in Tuscaloosa. Going to be a bullpen game, I suspect. I would think both starters are about done. All right, I'll give you some scoreboard updates around the SEC. Kentucky now leads Auburn 5-2. That game in the top of the 6th in Auburn. Mississippi State leads Arkansas 4-1 in the bottom of the 3rd in Starkville. And Texas A&M continues to chip away at Georgia's lead. It's now 5-2 Georgia in the top of the 3rd inning in College Station. Other games getting started here soon. Florida and South Carolina get started in about 10 minutes. And then later today, Vanderbilt is at Missouri, 3rd game of that series, and Kentucky is at Auburn, 2nd game of that series. It's halftime of the almost halftime of the NIT semifinal. Mississippi State leads Louisiana Tech 38-29. Arkansas and Oral Roberts meet in the NCAA tournament. I'm just on the SEC page tonight at, what does that say? 6:25 Central Time in the Sweet 16. I feel safe in saying Chase is not at a QAnon meeting. I mean, we've been accused of being really radical, but I don't think we've been accused of being that radical. I don't know. I'll pull up a box. Let's see. Alabama's making a pitching change. Lofton for Louisiana Tech. I'm asked how he's doing. He's got 6 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks so far for Louisiana Tech. Has not committed a foul. So he's having a good game. He's a good player. Hunter Roth, is that what they said his name is? Right-hander in for Alabama. And he is greeted with a sharp single to center field. So Ole Miss leads off the 6th with the base hit for Jacob Gonzalez. Connor Shamblin, 91 pitches for Alabama, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Had a pretty good outing till the 5th. The third time through the lineup, he got exposed. Very good. Good day. Wild pitch, and Gonzalez moves into scoring position. Ole Miss shows bunt, tries to bunt. I don't like a bunt there. I guess with Leposer, why not? He's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. He's looked really rough in both of his at-bats. Tucker, I like these Alabama uniforms. I don't like a lot of their uniforms where they do all the big Bama and bold print across the front. But I like the classic pinstripe look. I have no complaints with these. Both of these, this is a really good uniform game. Ole Miss's powder blues are terrific. Somebody just walked into the Clark Ford Studios. It's been a while since I've seen Barham, so I don't know if that's who that is or not. Son of a gun.
How many jokes at my expense at this point?
Oh, 1 or 2.
1, 2, 47. Do we like this brick facade there? You okay with that?
I don't hate it. It's too tall. I would rather.
Is that what it is? It's tall?
It's too tall.
Well, we're so used to seeing crowd at all the new field clubs and stuff that it's just weird. It's almost like, I don't know, it gives it more like a practice inter-squad kind of feel to it because you don't see anything. It's just the backdrop. Almost like a wiffle ball game where they're hitting it against the house behind it.
Yeah. Well, the Posers had a rough day.
Thrown into action unexpected.
I'll be honest. If you're going to bunt 2 strikes, bunt with 0 strikes and 1 strike, just go ahead and try to bunt with 2 strikes.
They're not a bunt team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even with Leposer and stuff where you're just trying to move runners, trying to do some stuff, it's frankly out of their DNA at this point.
Oh, that's a good swing right there. That's going to score the run. That was a really nice piece of hitting there.
Is that McCants?
Yeah, that was McCants.
He's had a hell of a week.
So 5-3 Ole Miss here in the top of the 6th. That was a really nice swing. Watch what he does with his hands right here. Yeah, it just loads, gets that fastball in off the inner half, and does his thing. They want to know how prison was, Chase.
That was great.
Okay.
They don't make you wear the orange jumpsuits anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Commissary stack with goodies.
I don't know if you know this, but the guy at the plate for Ole Miss, he also plays football. There's just nothing he can't do.
I'll tell you an interesting thing about him, though. Like, look, there are severe pitch awareness problems at times when he's at the plate, but his exit speeds are really good.
Yeah.
Like, there's an upside there that I do understand. He had a little draft buzz out of high school had it been a little different situation overall.
It's kind of one of the reasons I get irritated with some of the constant football stuff is that he's not a bad baseball player.
He's really not. he's the guy that
he's got a decision to make here
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in some ways, it's more – he would be a pretty decent baseball player if he just played baseball. You give him 12 months a year. I mean, I think
go to the summer league.
Yeah, do some wood bat stuff.
Yeah.
I think you would be talking about a different deal there for sure.
6-3 Ole Miss. Looks like Alabama's going to do another pitching change thing.
Bama's in a weird spot because they're not a bad baseball team. They're better. Bohannon's done an okay job. They've got some arms. Now, they're relative to the SEC, they're an average team without their ace, and it's going to be struggling all year as long as Connor Prelip's out. But when you start barring this thing changing here, you're starting 1-5. Even though it was Arkansas and Ole Miss, you're just behind the 8 ball so much. Getting back to get into a regional for Bama because their non-conference isn't great. You're probably talking 15-15. I don't think they're a team that probably gets in at 14-16.
To get into
just get in. They're not hosting, so just get in. Like I think
which is going to be a tall order at this point.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot. They really are. I think Bama's kind of scuffling.
You're going to have to go 14-10 the rest of the way,
and I don't know if they have those.
It's going to be tough.
Still got to play. Still got to play some dudes at that point.
This guy coming in, he does kind of look like Joe Dirt.
Who, me?
The guy coming in, no, not you. No, you don't have any.
Yeah, I think say no.
You're not sporting the mullet like that cat. Some scores around the league. I've been keeping people kept up. Kentucky and Auburn. It's 5-4 now. Kentucky over Auburn, bottom of the 6th.
Auburn might just be really bad.
It's certainly possible.
It's possible Auburn's just not good.
And Kentucky off to a pretty good start.
They're doing their version of what Ole Miss had to do. They opened up with Missouri and Auburn. Hey, so you lose those, you got some problems.
Take care of business.
Yeah.
Mississippi State continues to lead Arkansas 4-1. That game now in the top of the 4th in Starkville. And Georgia continues to hang on to a 5-2 lead over Texas A&M. That game in the bottom of the 3rd in College Station.
Yeah, A&M.
Florida and South Carolina should be starting right about now.
Florida trying to even that up, obviously, after the loss last night in 14 innings.
Clay Travis saying Jimmy Garoppolo eventually ends up in Chicago, like for this coming season. But that makes why do you go get Andy Dalton to add Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, what's the point?
But what was Andy Dalton doing for you?
Well, nothing. But why are you giving him money?
I'd rather give Garoppolo money than Dalton money.
I would too, but I don't want to give them both money. We got a chance to really blow a game open here. Top of the lineup.
You mentioned Florida, South Carolina starting today. That was a big comeback for South Carolina last night. You salvaged that game on Sunday against Vanderbilt 6-5 to kind of go 1-2. You would have taken that going into the weekend 1-2 against Vanderbilt and then move on.
All
you
day.
Get the opener against Florida, and you got Florida at home. And they're kind of high rent Kentucky where they play really well at Carolina Stadium. They don't do well away from home. I think they kind of had to get Florida this weekend a couple times, so we'll see if they can get another one over the course of the next 2 days. But that was big for Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss schedule-wise, getting Carolina and Oxford rather than Columbia was really the one break they got from a schedule this season.
You assuming that Diamond's done for the day? About 90
Is he
pitches.
At 90, yeah. I was pulling up stats
I think he's
right now.
just short of 90. 88, 89 pitches is my guess.
He's worth his weight in gold on Sundays compared to what most people are giving you.
Well,
I mean, it's
he got squeezed in the first, and he
doesn't handle it overly well. Early on, any kind of squeezing.
He got pissed off.
Yeah, I say it kind of.
He got irritated.
Channeled in a good way or a bad way?
Do what?
Channeled into a good way or a bad way?
Bad.
Okay.
No, he let his anger overcome him a little bit.
Bench kind of doing this season what you hoped he could. 306 average, 439 on base percentage. Got an OPS of 870-ish, something like that.
That was a good piece of hitting right there. He was fooled. That's the kind of hitting that never shows up in a box score. He's fooled, and rather than get retired, he makes the pitcher throw another pitch because the pitcher threw a really good pitch right there.
State beating La Tech 41-29 at the halftime in semifinals in the NIT. Literally anyone cares.
That's going to score it. That's how good that at-bat was.
And like I said, it's 3-2. He gets fooled, doesn't strike out, and then you get the single. That happened because of what was possible there.
That's what doesn't show up. So 7-3, Ole Miss now top 6. The sound you hear, I think, is her cleaning. Either that or something's bad happens in the house.
Something is getting really scrubbed somewhere. Yeah. It's a thing.
Based on a text that I just saw, I think she's cleaning.
Here's where this thing – Alabama doesn't have a terrible schedule. If they can steady themselves a little bit, I'm not saying they're going to do something, but I'm saying it is there.
This catcher's having a rough day.
They play Tennessee next weekend. If they could find a way to get 2 against the Vols, that's similar teams. I don't mean Tennessee's better, but that's gettable for Alabama at home. They get a run of a 4-week stretch of A&M, Auburn, Kentucky, Missouri. There's room there to potentially get. You got to
make a lot of hay, though.
You do, but Missouri is awful.
They're awful.
Awful. I mean, I was more impressed they scored 3 runs against anybody last night in the 9th inning against Vanderbilt when they broke up the no-hitter with 2 outs in the inning. But Vandy message boards were lit when that was going on last night.
I'm sure.
Taking Leiter out, Corbin, fire your ass.
Yeah. Somewhere Leiter's agent was calling, going, get him off the mound, please, now.
We let last week slide, okay? Like, that's it.
We're worried about the no-hitter he's going to throw in New York in 5 years. I'm guessing that's a glance at the Alabama bullpen.
It is, that no one is in, or at least not on the rubber. You're seeing that Bama does not have a ton of pitching.
I was going to say we might be
here a bit.
What you were talking about, the 14-10, the argument for why it won't happen is probably happening right in front of our eyes. What is this Bruce Pearl to Texas thing? Is somebody reporting Patrick, are you speculating, or is there someone saying that? It's a danger spot right here for the Tide.
Yeah, Big Ben, sorry, Leiter's advisor. Let me do it in quotes for you again. Advisor, not agent, advisor.
That's what I meant.
I mean, really humanitarian that just wants to help Jack Leiter with all the decisions that could potentially happen as they move forward.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Right at him. Those pinstripes aren't bad.
No, it's a good uniform. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's fine. It's better than the red top with Bama across the front.
Yeah, you don't like that one?
Hate it.
I don't like putting Bama on it, period.
Well,
no matter what it looks
like. What I'm saying.
I mean,
this is fine. Anybody who criticizes this is not a baseball fan. It's a solid uniform.
Going to Orange Blood, see what they're saying. McComas had thoughts an hour ago. And he's done a pretty good job covering this.
Elko up. He's had a terrific game. Had the big hit, the bases clearing double. He had the bases clearing double that you could see coming pitches ahead. When you knew if this guy throws fastball first pitch, he's going to hit it.
Yeah, McComas doing a lot of message board stuff today He's trying to sell subs off Calipari today.
Well, I don't mind you doing that journalistically if there's even a chance, but if there's a 0 chance, I'm not a fan of it.
Writers are acting like there's significant Chris Beard buzz.
I'm sure there is. I just don't understand that from Beard's perspective.
I mean,
there's better jobs than Texas coming down the pike.
That's what I'm saying. If you're leaving, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, you wait. I mean, you get a Kansas or that kind of a job.
Yeah.
He fooled him there.
Fooled him big time.
Big time. But Ole Miss answers, gets 3 back, so 7-3 Ole Miss headed to the bottom of the 6th.
Kansas found a home in center field long term. Well, I say long term. I still think there's a possibility he slides into shortstop and Gonzalez plays third base before their careers are over.
Yeah, I could see Gonzalez growing out of shortstop. Yeah.
He loses any range at all, he ends up at third baseman because Mike compares him a lot to Gray Kessinger's body type, but Gray's got a lot of ranginess that not everybody necessarily at that size has.
Florida and South Carolina have indeed gotten started. No score, top of the first. Everything else is pretty much the same. Kentucky 5-4 over Auburn, bottom 6. Mississippi State leads Arkansas 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th, and Georgia continues to hold a 5-2 lead over Texas A&M. That game's still in just the bottom of the 3rd in College Station.
Some people floating Dana Altman's name to Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all just kind of meh. Okay.
I mean, that's the move that makes sense. I mean, you're the coach at Creighton. You've probably done all you can do at Creighton. They offer you a ton of money at Texas, and you take it. But if you're Beard, would you rather go to Indiana or Texas? Or would you rather wait and go to –
Indiana's overrated. It's a better job than Texas, but –
I mean, I agree. If I'm waiting for like Kansas or something.
Well, I mean, you saw like Greg Doyle and all them yesterday just getting all huffy because Gary Parrish said it made no sense to act like you're hiring Brad Stevens. I mean, come on.
Why the hell would Brad Stevens leave an NBA gig right now?
Because he could get 10 other NBA gigs
tomorrow. Literally, if the Celtics fired Stevens, 5 NBA teams would call about Brad Stevens within the hour, willing to fire their coach to hire Brad Stevens.
Diamond back out here for the 6th.
He's at 88 pitches. I was right. I'm a little surprised that he's back out. He's got to be really efficient right here.
It feels like the one runner and done rule here. Yeah, started the inning at 88. 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 Ks, 2 walks. Throwing a wild pitch, giving up a double. That's actually kind of good news for him because he has a tendency to give up a lot of extra base hits. Just 1 double in 5+ innings, pretty good there.
He's been right around the zone. He's been squeezed a lot. He's been around the zone a lot. He's pitched a pretty good game. He ran into some bad luck in the 5th. That was a good pitch.
2's not a bad pitcher number. You don't necessarily see it a lot, but it's okay.
You better be damn good if you're going to pitch with a 2 on your back. And he is.
You don't give that to the middle reliever.
No, you run some cat who's your backup midweek dude.
Is that a single-digit rule in general or specifically? 2 is one of the numbers.
It's pretty much in as a rule, but for pitchers for sure.
Okay.
You're going to wear a single digit and pitch, you better be a dude.
Ooh. 91 here in the 6th.
Yeah, he made him chase. Climbed the ladder a little bit, got ahead of him.
His next progression is keeping velocity up a little bit. He gets, I don't know if it's just because he's so juiced to start games or what, but his velocity falls off pretty fast. He ends up pitching 91 to 93 for the most part during his starts.
It'll probably tick up a little as he gets a little older, a little stronger.
I mean, I think he would he's not because he's too talented to do it, but if he was like a closer or something, I actually think he could pitch pretty consistently 3 to 5 outs at that 96, 97, maybe even touch-up range.
Oh, for sure. And that might be the way his mentality is. That might be how he projects.
Yeah.
My experience has been guys who are hot-headed like that don't suddenly become mild-mannered pitchers as they get older. And he
stays kind of pissed off all the time.
His fire's burning pretty hard. I don't know how much of a rubber arm he has. I mean, could he pitch, 3 games in 5 days, that kind of thing. But
yeah, he's
got the mindset of a closer.
we'll see what the last 3 innings look like, because if anything showed us last week when Auburn scored 9 in the 8th that plenty of things can happen. However, Mike's been able to kind of get by without much bullpen at all here. I mean, they threw McDaniels, Myers, and Broadway, and that's been it through 3 games.
When you consider that he threw 30, I think it was 33 pitches in the first inning, he's been pretty efficient since then.
Was Shaka Smart going to get fired now or just be on the hottest of hot seats for next year?
He was just going to be on a really warm seat. He beat the band.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
And Marquette's not a bad gig.
That's fine. What league are they in now?
That's a good question. Are they in the Big East?
Are they? That's what I would have said had you not told me anything.
This will be pitch number 99 for Diamond. God, this kid looks like the ultimate California kid, doesn't he? He looks like he just got right off his surfboard.
'93 there. Trying to make it his last pitch of the day. A little amped. Overthrew a little bit too.
Grind, we'll get to that question here in a second. Yeah, Marquette's in the Big East.
Okay. We'll just think you give him one more, don't you?
Yeah, I give him one more hitter.
Yeah.
In large part because I wouldn't want to go out there right now and take the ball from him.
Hope that he just figures it out and comes on off.
Yeah. Let him go beat something up in the hallway.
Yeah, I say this with admiration. I have a hunch he's thrown a water cooler or two
at
some point.
There's zero doubt. He's the one that you remind him, don't use your right hand to punch something.
Mostly just straight stuff at this point.
Miller up for the 2nd inning in a row, so I wouldn't think it's going to take him long to get ready.
Closest thing Ole Miss has to a change his pace there. Somebody's mid-80s in the velocity and throws a ton of breaking balls. Threw 89 by him there.
That had a little cut to it. He's so pissed. He doesn't hide it at all. I mean, the snap of the glove, everything is just anger boiling, just simmering.
He probably got a lot of outs in high school just by the batter being kind of terrified when they got in the box. He's out there snorting around, and you know it's going to come in 93, 94, and you got the hell with this.
Well, it's 2-2 right here. Whatever he's got left in his tank, it's coming out in these 2 pitches.
Yeah. Oh, got a call there.
Well, the Alabama starter got that call throughout the game. Yeah. He didn't get it a couple of times. That's his parting gift.
Yeah, if you're the Bama kid, you got to.
Yeah, you got to swing at that.
That's at the knees.
Yeah, it's close enough. The Alabama starter got that pitch 3 times. Grind wanted to know earlier, why wasn't the series just changed to Friday, Saturday, Sunday? He says, excuse my ignorance beforehand if it's common to reschedule the way they did.
They try to limit, because, I mean, it is a non-revenue sport, even though some teams do it. They want to keep you in that 3-day window. They don't want you they don't want you to do the extra day. They don't want you to do the extra hotels, because you're talking about a lot of rooms. It can be a scheduling problem, frankly, depending on how busy the town is. Because, I mean, we're talking about some SEC schools that don't have, just plethora of hotels as well. So you run into some issues like that, and then it's a little antiquated too. You just don't get that 4th day. They like to competitive balance it, keep everything inside 3 days, and for the most part, all schools get the games in. I mean, the drainage systems are good enough when rain delays and different things that they can make it work. Georgia cares about baseball, but fair weather is not even really the thing because they should be better. I mean, look at strictly resources. Georgia should be a top 3-4 job in the league, and they don't control the Atlanta area as well as they should. And frankly, I kind of blame the coaching staffs for that. They just can't seem to keep the Gwinnett and Cobb County kids home enough. And I mean, look, you can build rosters upon rosters out of Cobb County and Gwinnett County kids.
Sure.
If you get the right ones. I mean, they get the in-state help from a standpoint of the Hope Scholarship stuff. I mean, it should be better than it is, but it's just not. I mean, that, you look at even when Dave Perno was there, he finished second. They're still kind of hurt from that. I mean, Arkansas had its Oregon State situation. Georgia was playing a 4 seed in the national title series, wins game 1 and loses. Fresno State wins the national title in 2008. But Dave Perno, it's one of the stranger things I've ever seen. Let me find the run here. So Perno, he goes over this is his record. Year over year from 04 to like whatever. I'm talking about Georgia, who they were a consistent team in Omaha, but he was in Omaha or he sucked. In 04, they go 19-11 in the SEC, advanced to the College World Series. 05, 12-17, miss Hoover. 06, College World Series, 18-12. 07, 11-19, miss Hoover. 08, 29-1, College World Series runner-up. The next year, 15-15. The next year, 5-23.
God.
I mean, just bouncing all over the damn place. I mean, because, that was a lot of the Ole Miss stuff back in the day was, hey, Mike never sucks. He's always whatever. I mean, would you trade where you're just bouncing up and down nonstop all the time? You get some higher highs, but when it falls, you're falling off a freaking cliff.
I'd rather be the consistent winner because consistent winners –
put me in the tournament and let's figure it out.
I mean, look, there are exceptions. The Atlanta Braves say hello, but if you're in the tournament consistently, the breaks fall your way at some point.
Perno, by the way, has been the head football coach at Clark Central High School in Georgia since 2015.
Really?
What his Wikipedia page says,
wow.
So I guess they're telling the truth.
Hell, giddy up on that from the left side. He had a look on his face like there's nothing. I'm not going to be able to do anything with that.
Oh, Leif, I was told the department gets the hotel points, not the program, but the department gets the hotel points. I did a little investigation there as the days moved on.
Dunhurst is miserable. This big left-handed kid, he kind of comes from an angle. He
looks pained.
He's miserable right now. This is a miserable at bat. He wants this to end. Big, tall, left-handed kid kind of comes.
Angle there.
Yeah. He's like, oh, thank God.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of those pitches. He's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Stuff's good, but it's not really around the plate.
Got an arm, though.
Gonzalez still fighting through a little bit of that scouting freshman stuff right
sure,
now.
Of course.
It's
I mean, the rest of the teams in the league have coaches that are trying to win too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not directed at you, but sometimes fans are like, I don't understand. Well, they found a spot. And if you have a hole, they will find it. And then they will hammer it until you fix it.
Yeah, Oregon State 37, Loyola Chicago 27 right now. So the Beavers a 12 seed, 10-point lead with 11:38 to go to get to the Elite Eight.
Pac-12 having a tournament.
They are.
Travis wants to know if you think Chofie pitches today.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think Mike said if he didn't get into the game from a competitive need him standpoint, he would for sure throw him on Tuesday just to get him to work. But that if he was not, he would not hesitate to get him in should the bullpen require that today as the day went on. He can't figure out what to do with Chattenay is his biggest problem right now as far as does more rest help? Is it just time in general? Is it normal? Is it not normal? It's kind of all over the place with that hamstring right now.
I hope somebody buys that catcher a drink at the end of the day. He's had a
long day.
He's had a day.
Nothing's easy. It's all
he's I'm going to guess that he's got a few Bud Lights in the fridge. He's probably started thinking about him a little bit. Kentucky now leads Auburn 6-4 in the top of the seventh. Arkansas has closed a little bit. They're down now 4-2 in the top of the fifth. Georgia continues to lead Texas A&M 5-2. That game now in the bottom of the fourth.
Oh, that hurt.
Oh, he plunk him?
Yeah.
Oh, bases loaded. Nobody out.
Front leg, I think.
And Florida and South Carolina, top of the second, no score in Columbia. Yeah, he's going to wear a path out to the mound on this game. Just pulled up to see what the uniform game was in Starkville. State's playing white on white.
In a good way?
Yeah, it's the white top. I can't quite see the front. It's got, I guess, Bulldogs and script. And Arkansas is going with the red top on the white pant with the red stripe.
With the little weird thing under the sleeves?
No. It's that red top that says Arkansas, and then the little swirl says Razorbacks. They do way too much. States has the one that has the state in cursive across the front.
Okay. Yeah, Travis, I think the closing has gone fine, to the best of my knowledge, just from the rumor mill around town. I think Lane's found some competent people to finish off his real estate deal. I think all's well. Actually, no, it is. I know what house he bought. I did not see Schubert 63 at Waverly today, but that's impressive, Tucker. Ole Miss has done a good job in the men's with Malloy to have one really, really good player and Jackson Super, the next one there. Yeah.
I'm going to guess that was one of the better left-handed pitchers that McCants has ever seen, just based on that at-bat. Little lost.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Don't get a lot of that in high school. Don't run into that.
I'm curious here. I'm not going to stay on it, but Mississippi State, it's 4-2, top five, and he had two outs, runner on first, and he got a little fly ball to the left fielder, and it landed. The kind of the triangle, and everybody thought, you got it, you got it. Nobody got it. And so now it's second and third, two outs. The starting pitcher's a little frustrated. He's at 80 pitches. Kind of a big moment for the Bulldogs here. They probably need to win that series.
Fighting off 95, kind of up in the zone there. Athletic ability, never the problem.
Well, this kid's got a live arm, doesn't he? Pretty good job by Plumlee protecting a little bit.
Yeah, he's fouled off a couple fastballs, kind of stayed on top of a breaking ball to foul it off.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to stay with the fastball here because he hasn't shown that he can handle it. And the way he throws breaking stuff in the dirt, that's a good piece of hitting right there.
Yeah. Regardless of outcome, that was really good. Well, it got the run in, though. Yeah.
Yeah, big time. That was a really nice at-bat for Plumlee.
Took it the other way.
I had a feeling that was going to be a big deal, and it was. Arkansas follows with the 3-run home run in Starkville. I had a feeling the way he reacted, body language to that play, he was –
So Hogs up 5-4
Hogs
now.
up 5-4. Christian Franklin with the home run, his 7th of the year. And he didn't leave much doubt.
Just week 2, but you said it last night. Arkansas just looks like the better team right now in Starkville.
I agree. You and I talked we actually had a college baseball conversation today. I've watched State. They're good, but they don't blow me away. I've watched Arkansas some. I think Ole Miss is a little better than Arkansas, but I think Arkansas is right there. And what Arkansas does to you,
so different.
It's why I think the series will be a really good one. I think what Arkansas does to you is their lineup doesn't really have a break in it.
No, it stresses 1 through 9,
and they'll wear you out. And what State just did, if you open the door, they will absolutely run through it.
It's one of the keys for that series, and we got a couple weeks before we get there, is that Ole Miss does not do a great job pitch count-wise, and they've got to do a better job pitching-wise from a pitch count standpoint because Arkansas will just extend and stress. And it just – if you have tons of high-leverage pitches the whole game, at some point you're going to have a breakdown. I think Ole Miss is going to be a little more conscious of that against Arkansas in 2 weeks.
Well, Bednar here is playing out exactly what you're talking about. He is super frustrated. They just wore him out. Like what Ole Miss is doing to this kid, they kind of grinding. Heading to the bottom of the 5th in Starkville. It's now 5-4 Razorbacks.
Florida gets one in the first. They're up 1-0 on Carolina. Again, going to the top of the second.
So Alabama gets out of it, but not before Ole Miss gets a run. It's stretch time in Tuscaloosa, 8-3 Ole Miss.
Got to think Austin Miller's coming to the game now for sure.
Well, he's warmed up twice, so he's either coming in or he's going to the dugout. You don't get him up a third time. It's real early in the season, don't get me wrong. A lot of teams have recovered from poor starts and et cetera. But if you're Texas A&M and you know what else is happening at the top of your division, you don't want to dig a hole.
Listen, today you're 1-4.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking up at Ole Miss, at Arkansas, State. You're not going to get 4 host sites out of one division.
No, I mean,
the tournament's just not going to give you that.
No, because you got Vandy on the other side that's going to have one out of the conference, I assume, and then Florida's not going away.
Well, no, and as of today, and again, super early, but hell, Tennessee could make an argument right now.
They are the 16th seed in this week's way too early. No,
there you go.
Deal. Yeah, Ross is going to have him a coaching search at the end of the year. Baseball. This will be it for Childers.
Mississippi State leads Louisiana Tech 54-34 in the NIT semifinal. 13.5 to go in that one.
Still my belief that an SEC coach will have a decision to make.
Oh, yeah.
You think he stays?
Yeah, we're talking about Butch Thompson at Auburn.
Yes, I believe Butch Thompson will be a front runner for the A&M job, and if he would like it, he has a decent chance to get it. Well, if there's a healthy time, this is interesting. So if there's a healthy time for A&M, it's coming up. Let's put up their schedule. They finished up with Georgia here. They get Missouri and Alabama back to back. If you're going to make any run, that's it. You better go 5-1 in those 6, because after that, Tennessee State, Ole Miss, Arkansas.
Oof.
Yeah, tells me they don't. It's
not going to happen.
No, it's done there in College Station.
Ranch flavor or sunflower seeds? I don't think I like that.
I'm not big on ranch flavored anything. I'm kind of un-American like that. Most
it's
people
real
really
powdery.
Oh yeah. I'm not a huge sunflower seed fan though. I don't.
It's not my favorite
I don't
thing
know
either.
if that's not a thing.
I know.
Grind. The problem, Butch has got a lot of security at Auburn. He likes it there, and he's making about $1 million a year. I mean, A&M's frankly got to really pay more than they're paying now to even give him a raise.
His family's really happy there too.
He bought a lot of security with that Omaha run in 19, as he should have.
Sure. Oof. Everybody avoided the collision?
Yeah.
Yeah, Diamond's final line's not bad at all. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts through 105 pitches. Given his first inning, it's a hell of an outing. His first inning was just a grind, and he got frustrated and worked up. And I don't know why I find it amusing when you can tell a hitter's up there looking first pitch fastball, and then he kind of half-heartedly swings through a change.
If you're ever looking fastball with Miller, it's a bad scouting report because everything's backwards. He's lost a lot of velocity during his Ole Miss career, actually.
Travis wants to know if Clements would be a name to watch for Texas A&M.
They love him there. He obviously turned down their head assistant job a couple years ago to stay at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I think other ADs would be more likely to go that route. I don't think that's Ross's MO. I think Ross
is going to want to make a hire that looks like
Yeah.
Ross is higher.
Yeah. And now I'm just going to pull the Ole Miss guy and bring him in, even though he's technically an
Right.
A&M guy. Nah, that's not what I would anticipate.
Ooh, that's a good pitch.
Grind Auburn's a really hard job. They've got all the built-in negatives they can't help, and they haven't eliminated some other negatives that they could do some things about. But I mean, it just kind of is what it is. I mean, I don't blame them there because I mean I can make the argument that a lot of programs overspend on the sport. So I'm not.
Oh, sure.
I'm not criticizing, but if you're just trying to completely and utterly max it out at whatever cost, they've got some negatives that other schools don't have, even in their same boat. I mean, Auburn's a better job than, obviously, Missouri. They're a better job than Kentucky. They're a better job than Tennessee. Kind of get a little hard after that to pick out Alabama. Sorry, they're a better job.
Better job than Alabama, sure. Boy, Miller following Diamond, you can tell guys their eyes are trying to adjust.
It's as much of a change of pace as they possibly have. I mean, that's as far as they go.
It is like walking out of the bright sun into the shade a little bit. Takes you a minute. And then he's got just enough on his fastball that they can't just sit.
Well, and if nothing else, it's a different plane. He's tall. It comes downhill at you a little bit. There's just enough difference there to give it a little bit.
And he throws strikes. Mississippi State's tied it up in the bottom of the fifth. It's 5-5 there. Florida's taking a 1-0 lead over South Carolina in the bottom of the second.
What's going on CBS? Is that Loyola? And,
yeah, I'll flip during the break if we get to it. Miller will take care of us. That's the amazing thing about the tournament. Those games, those Sweet 16 games, those Elite 8 games, they typically have pretty good finishes. They just kind of wired that way. Let him out. Liner to right field. All right, we'll flip real quick.
Pulling up some more scores. East Carolina today losing to Elon. Pirates 2-1 there. Yeah, 5-5, bottom 5. Southern Miss 6-2 in the fourth over Louisiana Tech. Tech won last night. I think they won 5 in a row at that point.
Yeah, they've been hot. They got in the polls and everything. They're one of those teams that have some wins on their schedule.
They're going to be hell on somebody when the NCAA gives them that 3 seed, and somebody's like, "Oh, for the love of God!"
Sends them to Fayetteville or Oxford or somewhere.
Yeah. You know, we always see those 3 seeds where everybody rolls their eyes. La Tech is the patented 3 seed right there.
Well, today they deserve a 2 seed.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. But I just know how these
I know how it works.
and especially when the SEC gets 10 bids or something, and those have to go all over the place as the 2s. The ACC is pretty strong. They'll get right there, the D1 baseball poll littered in all top 5, and then Tennessee. Pitt's been one of the surprise teams in college baseball, ranked 15th now. They're playing Virginia Tech today.
Blake wants to know if you still think the Saints should go after Deshaun Watson as a free agent.
I absolutely do not. With our cap situation, guys.
That's such a weird deal. That just he's either the worst person in the world or this is the absolute witch hunt of all time.
And I'm not a conspiracist either way, but if it's all false, it is one of the crazier, weird, put together. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I know.
it's hard to.
And yet nobody's produced the quote proof that you would want to see to go, oh no, he's.
Ole Miss pretty 1-on-1 out here in the top of the 8th.
A walk and a fly out. No, the Texans have not. They haven't cut him. I think everyone's going to sit back and let the NFL investigate. And
Well, they're not cutting it for sure. I mean,
no, how could you? That's gone.
That was hit very, very hard.
He's had a hell of a day.
Just watching that one. I mean,
Let's see what Loyola's doing here for a minute. Oh, there's an and one.
and
Oh, wow. 4-point game with 1:30 to go.
we can hang here for a minute.
Oh, yeah. And
We're all good.
Rebels are not.
It's 10-3.
They're in good shape right this moment.
What was Oregon State in the regular season? I mean, I know they won the tournament, but
Ooh, what a bucket.
that's kind of the night bucket maybe right there.
You
We'll
better,
see.
unless you can score really fast here. They're not really wired to score fast. Arkansas takes the lead over Mississippi State in the 6th. Opposite field home run for whoever number 14 is. Cullen Smith, his second of the year.
6-5.
Yep.
Okay.
Their lineup's something else now. Is that a short porch and left at State? 330?
330 is about normal.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's
Good pop to hit that the opposite way down the.
No, 330 might even be a touch larger than some of them.
We had a tornado watch until 9 tonight. Feels like we've had a tornado watch for a week.
That's been a week. Did you get any last night? Did it rain here? It didn't do anything
I
on
don't
the side of
think
town.
it rained. There was there's some lightning and thunder because it kind of woke me up in the middle of the night for a minute. Oh, he had a shot at it. That's probably it. Oh, it was an open 3. Number 4 had.
I told you, Kentucky has always been known for the crazy short porch. I think they have 310 on their right field line, but I mean they recruited to it for years. I mean they would have tons of left-handed hitting and left-handed pitching and pitch away, and they really would play to their park and it would screw them on the road. But we were out there 2010, I guess, was covering a series in Lexington, and just curious, walked it off, and I talked to a couple of the players about it, and it was kind of It was kind of laughing about it. 279.
Oh, it wasn't even really
279.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
It's just a pop-up, and it is like, I mean.
And they marked it 310?
310, yeah. It was 30 feet short. 'Cause I mean, seriously, any ball in the air, and it's just, it's lights out. I mean.
If you flipped over, we'll keep you updated. It's still 10-3 Ole Miss, 2 outs.
Yeah, it's all
top
right at the
8.
moment.
Jacob Gonzalez with a 2-1 count. Nobody on.
Oregon State baseball, speaking of, number 21, they are at Washington, 5 o'clock today.
That's going to do it.
Big day for the Beavers. Speaking of teams getting job, that Washington team in 14 probably should have hosted, not been in Oxford. That was kind of unfair to the Huskies.
Well,
they were a good baseball team.
Gonzalez just missed a home run right there. He hit it to the deepest part of the park, off the wall, or the fence, or whatever the hell that is out there.
I hate it.
Well, it makes it where you can't really see what it is.
I'm not a fan of that weird
Chain link
windscreen
looking, yeah.
thing. I don't get it. And they just didn't fix things there.
He's a good player.
Highly recruited, top 300-ish kid, but not crazy. I mean, we necessarily didn't expect this from the very beginning with him. Pulling up his perfect game profile now because I'm kind of curious. What's going on, State and Arkansas?
It's still 6-5 Arkansas. I think 1 out, top 6.
Who do you guys want to win that series? I'm just kind of curious in the live stream.
2 outs.
State and
top 6.
Arkansas. Who are you for? Obviously, one is Ole Miss's rival. One,
Yeah, he's out at the plate with any decent relay. Yep.
I mean, good grief.
So 10-3 Ole Miss over Alabama heading to the bottom of the 8th.
You're right, Blake. We are all about 11 seed UCLA. I hope they are in the Elite Eight. That would be awesome. We are all Bruins today. Tomorrow, the game is
Against Alabama?
that's correct. Yes.
Well, some of us aren't.
UCLA. Yeah, it was not a great decision on the sending him home there. But you're up 10-3. It's all good. Yeah, you don't want sweeps no matter what. If you're Ole Miss, you do not want a sweep in Starkville this weekend.
Boy, if you're Arkansas and you get a sweep in Starkville, you kind of erase that loss against Alabama, and you're like, yeah, we're in good shape.
You're cooking now.
Yeah.
They have the middle schedule. Their schedule's not as hard as Ole Miss's, but State has the easiest of those 3 teams.
I'll just tell you, it's super early, but the 3 best teams in this league in some order are Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, and Arkansas.
However you want to phrase it.
What do you want? I mean, you can make arguments for whoever.
Down 6 for 24.
Another home run for Arkansas. It's 8-5. Their
They
lineup
have launched the ball out of the ballpark.
Their lineup's good. That's Goodhart, I think, hit that one, which is he had a big day yesterday. Yeah, that's his 5th homer of the year.
Arkansas' schedule is just not that hard beyond what they obviously have to play.
And they are a team that typically gets better as the year goes on.
They get Auburn next week. And then, I mean, what should be one hell of a series in Oxford in 2 weeks.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, name your attendance for those 3.
Well, as someone who bought some of the few tickets that were remaining, there were not many seats left. Austin Miller still out for Ole Miss in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, I mean, 85, they're on the gun.
Right now, you just want to get outs.
The 9th will be a good time to get Chopey in the game, see what he looks like.
Yeah, it would be a good spot.
I mean, 10-3.
Because if he's rusty, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Breaking ball.
He's so tall, and he comes from that overhead. That breaking ball probably looks like it's this downward plane.
Oh, it starts above your head, and then I mean,
it's hard to hit. Heading to the bottom of the 6th, and Starkville still 8-5.
What time they start? 2?
Yeah, they were an hour behind Ole Miss and Bama.
6:25 tip for Arkansas and Oral Roberts tonight. Good piece of hitting. Out.
Ole Miss has played a good defensive game today.
Florida winning in the South Carolina won. Florida was hitting a home run, but Carolina won the game on the 14th. State mauling La Tech in the NIT semifinals, 75-57 now.
Well, there's nothing like an NIT title.
State of Mississippi trying to dominate the NITs this season. I mean, take both those trophies. Ole Miss women play Rice in the WNIT final tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
That is tomorrow afternoon.
What time are you leaving?
10:30. Game's at 1.
Awesome.
Got to get some ribs first. Half chicken, a little slaw, banana pudding.
Yeah. I can't find the score because I'm blocked on Twitter.
Do you have a favorite Memphis rib place before you started not eating that kind of stuff?
I think commissary's good.
Commissary is good, yeah.
Rendezvous, it's fine for just the sentimentality and the location.
But you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
like it's give me the ribs, be rude to me, the whole experience.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, I'm not a rib snob, so I'm not going to be, these aren't. It's fine. You know, it's the experience. Yeah, it's the experience. You go and you get the sausage and cheese plate.
And then you get a rack of ribs.
And you get a pitcher of beer, and you get ribs, and you get the beans and the slaw, and you don't
deviate.
And you get yelled at a little bit, and it's okay.
They get really rude if you try to order weird stuff on the menu, even though it's on the menu.
Yeah.
It's like,
you
came here.
And that's fine unless you bring your kids, and your kids are ordering, and I'm like, come on. He's 8.
If he wants the grilled cheese, bring the freaking grilled cheese.
Yeah. You want a tip? I have not been. I see no real reason to, if I'm totally, just completely honest.
How would I rank Ole Miss's relievers? I mean, Broadway, McDaniel. I mean, frankly, Miller. I mean, I don't necessarily love the stuff, but he's getting outs. He's been getting outs all season, so he's got to be factored in there. Ole Miss needs Chopey to be next. They still haven't. I still want to see if they can get a roll from Wes Burton. I think that's something that's sort of up in the air right now. He's going to pitch, but does he have a role? There's a difference. Seems maybe a touch. I don't want to say he's banged up, but the velocity's down, kind of where I saw it in the fall. And
Wes's.
Yeah, and he would be much more productive at 92 to 94 than 89 to 91.
Yeah.
Kind of like Miller, though. Very down angle, tall kid. Good pitch.
Did you go to the book signing today? So Travis thinks you.
No, I did a mail order copy.
Oh, good.
Yeah. If you pre-ordered, He signed them ahead of time, and they sent them in.
Oh, that's good.
You don't want to wait in line with
God,
all the riffraff.
No.
Come on. Had to get the Bulldog Burger in time. He might have gone. Ooh.
Does Tim Elko look a lot like Davey Allison?
That's random.
That is really random. Early guess for next year's closer?
Ooh. I see Chofie coming back. I think he has a year of eligibility left. I want to see what they do with Josh Mallets. I think there is some upper level stuff there if you try to put him in a role like that. If you can keep McDaniel out of the draft this year, you're Diamond McDaniel. You've got Jackson Jobe. You're trying to get to campus. Ball's hit.
Oh, you got a lot of that.
Up, gone.
Yeah. He hung that a little bit. So 10-5 Ole Miss now in the 8th.
Eric Edholm with a scouting report on Elijah Moore he just tweeted out.
Where's he have him?
They have him as the number 38 overall prospect. I don't know where Eric has him himself. Florida starter Jack Leftwich has hit 4 South Carolina batters in 3 innings, however, has kept them off the scoreboard. Still 1-0 Florida top 4. I have no interest in NASCAR really, but that dirt race did look cool.
Oh, NASCAR was doing a dirt race?
They're at Bristol with a dirt race.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It looked kind of neat. Yeah, Nick, I didn't even see that you mentioned Mallets in that when I was talking.
Arkansas into its bullpen with 1 out in the 6th.
Yeah, the midweek starter situation right now is pretty volatile, honestly. Ole Miss does not have a great answer right there because it's wasting Drew McDaniel there right now. But they have a benefit because the non-conference schedule the rest of the way is frankly not very good. They can kind of manage it because you're not in a typical year. They don't
matter.
Oh, that too. But you're not playing Southern Miss twice. You're not playing a Governor's Camp game against Mississippi State. I mean, it's just some dudes.
They don't matter.
You go 19-11 in the SEC. They won't give 2 craps what your midweek record was.
Well, and look, at 6-0 right now, you start talking about those kinds of numbers.
Because you start doing math.
They've got this 9-game stretch coming up where if you could go, just play along with me, 5-4 in that stretch, which is not out of the realm.
You're 11-4.
You're 11-4 at the turn. Now all of a sudden, you're 7-8 in the second half from being a national seed.
Mm-hmm. 9-6 from being the number 1 national seed,
regardless of what the hell you do against Central Texas A&M.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally wouldn't even look at the rest of your numbers if you're 19-11 in the league.
I mean, non-conference rest of the way. Ole Miss plays UNA Tuesday. I mean, bad history there, but still playing the Lions. Got Alcorn State again on April 6th. Austin P, Little Rock again, and UT Martin. That is the remainder of the non-conference schedule.
Number one, they're going to win most of those games with just their lineup.
Miller ends up 1.2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 Ks, faced 7 batters, give up the home run. You guys saw 2 flyouts, 1 ground out. 40 total pitches, including 24 strikes there for Austin Miller.
Kentucky and Auburn now tied in the top of the ninth. That game in Auburn 6-6. I mentioned Arkansas leading Mississippi State 8-5. That game in the bottom of the sixth in Starkville. Georgia still hanging on to a 5-3 lead in College Station. That game now in the top of the sixth inning, and Florida leads South Carolina 1-0 in the bottom of the third. In Columbia, Tennessee and LSU get started in about an hour in Knoxville. And so do Vanderbilt and Missouri in Como. And then the nightcap tonight, Kentucky and Auburn. Is that a doubleheader today? Kentucky and Auburn tonight at 6.
Is it? Oh, because they've already played today, haven't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're playing now. They play again tonight, according to this.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have a reason to challenge the SECsports.com site.
That's fine. If anyone cares about the golf scores, they're in the Elite 8 of the Dale Match Play today. Tommy Fleetwood has a 1-up lead on Billy Horschel through 15 holes. Victor Perez has a 3-up lead on Sergio Garcia through 13. Matt Kuchar 2-up on Brian Harmon through 11. And Scotty Scheffler 3-up on John Rahm through 12.
What happened, Brad? He says, went outside to fire the grill up, and let me tell you, boys, the spawn of Satan is alive and well in Tupelo, Mississippi. Are we referring to a snake or weather?
Yeah, Wes in right now. Speaking of, only a 1.80 ERA on the season. What'd I do? Why are we saying my name?
I don't know.
What'd I do wrong?
I don't know.
What happened, Nick?
How tall is Wes Burton? Like 7'5"?
Pretty tall. 6'7", 6'8".
Oh, Brad's referring to pollen.
Oh, okay.
There was a ton of pollen out yesterday.
You have to be really tall to wear 55.
You do wonder as a hitter when you see someone 6'8" standing on a mound cussing the whatever. Like, I might step out of time.
91 on the outer edge.
Yeah, don't stand there and look at it like it wasn't a strike. Come on.
You're down 10-5 in the 8th. Let's swing.
Yeah, come on. Stop. Oof.
A little overthrowing there.
Yeah. LaPoser's about to ask the Alabama catcher, hey, can I have one of those beers before I hit the road?
Well, Nick, I had it up for fantasy purposes. I was curious for my own purposes who was left in the Dell Match Play. I'm off to a slow start. We got to pick it up a little bit. It's a crazy tournament, though. Only one top 20 player advanced to the round of 16.
Mississippi State in some problems.
Are they?
Yeah, it's bases loaded for Arkansas in the top of the 7th. Nobody out. Carlisle, Kostler up in the pen. It's a scramble. They're about to make a pitching change. Tell you what, if that score holds today, tomorrow will be a little antsy in Starkville.
Should end the inning. Settles under it, makes the catch. Going to the ninth.
To the ninth in Tuscaloosa, 10-5 Ole Miss.
West Burton lowering his ERA once again, down to 1.69. Actually, better than that even. No, yeah, 1.69 there for Burton.
He looks the part of a closer, acts the part of a closer.
Yeah, and he, like I said, the velocity was up in the fall. I mean, if it's in that area, I think you are talking about it. But I don't. 89 to 91 is a little different.
No,
there.
You got to get into 93, 94, 95 to truly be slamming the door shut. I haven't seen that story, Leif. I'll have to go look for that. The oral history of Randy Johnson hitting the bird.
I haven't read it, but I saw it enough to bookmark it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go find that.
Yeah, I'm actually anything but a Kuchar fan right now. I did pick Brian Harmon as one of my golfers this week, so I need a little bit of a run there from him with 6 holes to go.
Rain coming here tonight around 7 o'clock.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100% chance at 9 and 10 and midnight. Storming into the night. Tornado watch until 9 p.m. Laughing at Sammy.
Pollen's pretty bad here today too, actually.
Well, it's late March in the South.
It's what happens.
Allow me to tell you what's coming.
Yeah. Duke guard Jordan Goldwire to transfer. A lot of movement there on that Duke basketball roster.
Apparently a weather delay in Starkville.
Oh.
Huh.
You have it up from ESPN3?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I'm seeing fewer tweets about the game suddenly.
Travis wants to know about Jamin Brakefield. When does he officially commit? Any day now. I think it's going to happen.
So they took the players off the field?
It appears that way. SEC Network's just gone to a screen weather delay.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hit hard.
Oh, I'll give that right fielder credit, man. You're going to get hurt like that, and he did.
Yeah.
Georgia, no real updates. I'm watching for one player in particular who, if he hits the transfer portal, I think he's going to end up at Ole Miss. But as of yesterday, mid-late afternoon, that is how you blow your knee out right there. He had not entered the portal. I expect Brakefield to be Ole Miss. Myron Jones expected to make a decision tomorrow.
What's his deal?
Some people think Ole Miss. Some people think Arkansas. I think it's close. And then after that, I think there's a chance that EMC returns. And then after that, we'll see. A lot of it, obviously, if you get Jones, you don't need another shooting guard. If you don't get Jones, you need to go get a shooting guard. So some of it just depends on decisions that get made. I'm sure they'll make a joke about that's not the hardest Plumlee's been hit. Have to make
Have to get back to football.
Have to make a football joke.
He's still listed as a quarterback on their roster?
I don't know what he's listed at. I thought Lane's answer to that question was a good one.
We'll figure it out later.
We'll talk about it when baseball's over.
Yeah.
Give Kiffin a ton of credit. That was a great answer the other day. Recruiting
one?
two-sport kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when they're playing baseball, we're going to let them play baseball.
You respect the sport, respect him, let him do it.
Yeah. For future recruits, that might be a difference maker.
Well, it mattered to one this year.
A lot. Ben, do they want Hadim to return? I think so. They like him a lot. He like it. And there might even be something to the idea that he had to go into the portal so that he could come back and not count against the 13. There's just the portal is such a circus, and the rules are weird, and I don't know. I know that's not a great answer, but
Hold him. Well,
he really runs.
did he confuse the center fielder?
I think
there was a weird clutch there where,
I think he thought he was going to hold.
and then once he started, it was too late.
Yeah. But that kid, McCants,
Yeah.
outside of the one at-bat against the tall left-hander where he looked kind of lost, he looks the part. And I know it's easy to kind of like laugh your way through this. The Alabama catcher's already going to get his Bud Light. Adding on in an inning like this is what good teams do. Good teams make it where there's no chance in the ninth that there's any craziness.
You effectively end the game.
You just add a couple that just goes, hey, that's that. They're saying it's starting to rain there a little bit.
In Starkville?
In
Tuscaloosa?
Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
If that's the case, if you're an umpire, your zone gets big right now, like really big. Brett wants to know when's the last time Alabama or Auburn beat Ole Miss in a baseball series.
Didn't
Auburn have some success?
Auburn wins over there okay a decent amount of times. Alabama last one in Tuscaloosa in 2017. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I get confused on home and away because 20 didn't happen, so it's technically even year. So no, it'd be 2016. Sorry. Ole Miss won in 18. It was in Oxford in 19. No season in 20. Yeah. Oh well.
A little bit of a base running gaff there. Not a little bit of one, a pretty big one.
His shirt is really big. Jersey.
Hang 10, dude.
I mean, like you just have the same number, whatever size it is. You fit into it if you want that number. Kevin Graham's last at bat of the weekend. Pretty quiet day for him.
Kentucky leads Auburn 7-6 in the bottom of the ninth. We told you about Arkansas and State. Georgia holding on to a 5-3 lead against Texas A&M. That game in the bottom of the sixth. And Florida continues to lead South Carolina 1-0. That game now in the bottom of the fourth. So JM asked about who did Texas want to hire for men's basketball. I don't know what's going to happen this year. I can tell you there was a rumor. I'll say it now. There was a rumor before the season that if things fell right and things didn't work out for Shaka, that one of the names to watch for at Texas was Mike White.
Right.
I have not heard that name this go-round.
Got some Alabama faithful hanging in there.
Well, you know. Worse places to be than the ballpark on a Saturday afternoon.
Good swing. Just right at him there. 0 for 5 for Kevin Graham today. Scored 11 runs on the day with 13 hits when your best hitter went hitless.
Take that.
Take that. Yeah, there's odd scuttlebutt with the Calipari thing, but it's mostly because Calipari just seems fed up at Kentucky more than it does at
He's
Texas
angry.
thing.
He's angry at Kentucky, and I don't blame him, quite frankly. I mean, he's had a hell of a run. He has one bad year, and they lose their minds over there. Like it.
What they do.
So I can't answer, is it legit? I don't know. My gut is no, but maybe he's pissed. And he's got more than enough money, and they can offer him a ton of money. And
They'd be happy to offer him money.
I don't know how badly he would want to give the middle finger to Kentucky.
But he's kind of the same thing. Texas.
I know.
Now they'll put
I mean, you can get NBA players there. They've done it.
Kevin Durant played there.
Got a golf question on the thread.
Do we?
Chase, what do you think about Kevin Na lecturing DJ about picking up the ball before he conceded? It was a 10-inch tap-in.
In match play, I think people do things to try to get – well, I don't think. They do things to try to get you off your concentration a little bit. It really mattered to Na. I thought it was a little carried away, but frankly, he was probably in the right. But it's one thing to kind of laugh. Have you followed this at all, Neil?
No.
Okay. So – I mean, finish and I'll tell you what happened. So I think it's one thing to kind of laugh it off or make a joke about it where you get your point across versus really trying to get your point across. There's a little bit of difference there. So they're in Austin this week for the match play. 64. They basically copied the NCAA tournament. 64 players. They play 3 pool play matches, and the winner of each pool or pod goes to the Sweet 16, and then it's a single elimination from that point on.
Okay.
So Dustin Johnson, number 1 player in the world, is playing Kevin Na. And since it's match play, you can give putts that are close and move on with your day.
Right.
Johnson lips out a birdie putt. It's probably on, I don't know, the 14th, 15th hole if I'm wrong. I'm somewhere in there. And because he's frustrated, I mean, it's literally this far. And he just kind of rakes it over. And Na kind of yells at him to, hey, come here, or like goes and finds him, puts his hand up on his shoulder, and like kind of goes, hey, look, I was going to give that to you, and I know it was this far, but you've got to wait on me to give it. And like really kind of lectured him on, no, you have to wait for the signal before you pick it up. I would be more, Na technically could have taken the hole and told the ruling official, hey, I didn't give him that. He picked it up, and it would have cost Johnson the hole. He didn't do that, so I will cut him some slack from that standpoint.
Because that would have been really crappy. Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a way to do that to get your point across without hand on shoulder and looks like get the cameras where seriously lecturing you as you're doing it. I mean,
come on.
DJ's pretty calm, so I'm sure he forgot about it by the next hole. But
take your L.
Yeah, just win it. And Na ended up winning the match. And I think that's kind of what it meant. What it showed me is like Na couldn't advance. He was not in the running to get to the final 16. But I do think in some ways that meant a lot to him, and he was doing anything he could to kind of, yeah. I mean,
one out here in the bottom of the ninth. Mallets is in for Ole Miss, closing it out.
so Chofie will pitch on Tuesday against UNA. I don't know.
In a normal year, that would be the school kid game, but they won't have a school kid game with COVID.
Oh well, yeah, I didn't even think about the
Because you can have 12,000 people on a Thursday, but you can't have 8,000 kids on a Tuesday. It's
for the kids.
Science.
For the kids. I mean, Jesus, what?
It's insane. Auburn apparently has 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the 7th, trailing 7-6 to Kentucky.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's a good swing. Goodness gracious. That was a really – wait till you watch the replay of this swing. Really short with his – quick with his hands, short little swing.
Leif, that is a good point. Yeah, there's no doubt that Gonzaga getting 5 stars now. That's a huge development that those kids are going to that program, going to Spokane, playing for Mark Few.
Look at that swing. Oh, you missed it. Really quick hands.
Oh. Alex has given up some extra base hits lately.
That wasn't a bad pitch. I mean, I was just. Apparently, it's a final in Auburn.
Kentucky has one.
Kentucky 7-6.
Okay.
Dig yourself a hole, Auburn. Yeah, Auburn now 0-5 in the league.
And last week is at least somewhat excusable. Losing these 2, that just kind of shows you where you are.
Hey, Ginger. Ginger joins us in the 9th.
See that?
It's good. It's better than not joining us at all. Chase didn't join till the 6th.
That's true.
I'm kidding. He had stuff to do. I knew where he was.
That's hit well. I know.
And he got way underneath that one.
Yeah. 1 out to go. Rebels will be 6-0 in the SEC. First time since 1969.
The kid for Alabama that hit the home run a minute ago has had a big day. Is he a prospect?
I don't know. Let's look him up.
If I'm an MLB scout, I noticed that swing. That is quick to the ball. I don't know what else he does from a tool standpoint.
He is 4 for 5 today.
Yeah.
Got a home run. Stole a base. He is draft eligible, even though he's only in his second year. But I don't know anything about him.
He's one of those guys that if I were an MLB scout, I would have jotted some notes today. Ole Miss a strike away. Base hit for Alabama. I mean, you talked about this weeks ago, about how critical it was to take advantage of getting Auburn and Alabama at the beginning of the season. But 6-0.
Oh, I mean, look.
That's a lot to ask. I mean, you can't ask for that.
4-2 would have been no complaints.
Sure.
5-1 was, oh, wow. And then 6-0, I mean, again, since 1969. I mean, it changes everything. But even beyond, look, record is what's important. Again, it's all math. You're trying to get to 16, then trying to get to 17, then trying to get to 18 and up, and whatever you can do. But we're also talking about a team that, again, they had 0 players who had ever played a full SEC season. They had not been in the league yet. Just getting them some early confidence going into this 9-game stretch is a big deal. I mean, you're getting feet wet with success, which, I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than getting your feet wet the other way. So, I mean,
sure.
I think that's as big of a deal as anything, is just getting these guys into the SEC schedule with some wins and not playing from behind. Because you look at some of Mike's best teams, they've been second-half teams. I mean, Ole Miss has not put together a ton of really good first-half seasons. They've been very good in the last 15, more than they've been good in the 15 in the first 15. I mean, a lot of regional hosts for Ole Miss have been 7-8, 8-7 at the break. Oh, good pitch. Buckled him there with a breaking ball.
That was a big deal yesterday to come back in the 9th, and
that's the put the pin in that one. Keep an eye on it, because that you stole one there, and you kind of demoralized Alabama. Frankly, I mean you went from them getting the first against the top 5 team at home and thinking, hey, look, we had a chance last week, let's capitalize on it now, and instead you sort of beat them into commission in the first game, and then Nikhazy really shut them down, and I mean, I think that led to today a little bit. I think Bama was such for the taking if Ole Miss played well today, and they did, and they got out to the lead. When they finally scored, it sort of fell apart for the Tide.
Yeah, Elko's 3-run double was just
it broke it all.
Yeah. The Florida series next week, is that a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or is that a Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's see. I have Ole Miss's baseball schedule up in front of me. No, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was wrong. Oh, because it's Easter. Sorry. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Gainesville, 7 p.m., 5:30 p.m., and noon. There are the starting times. So be aware of that. That Friday night game, a 5:30 start, because it's 6:30 on the East Coast. And then a noon Central start on
Any
Saturday.
TV for those?
SEC Network on Thursday night.
Okay.
So it is a live Thursday night. There's 7 o'clock for Ole Miss and Florida.
7 Eastern?
7 Central.
7 Central.
I think. Pretty sure. I would assume Ole Miss puts their Central times on their schedule.
Little ground ball, bench to...
And that is it.
That's that. Ole Miss wins 11-6. 6-0, first time since 1969. That's something else.
Yeah. I guess Archie was the shortstop the last time Ole Miss was 6-0 in the SEC. Rebels get it'll be Gunnar Hoagland against Tommy Mace on Thursday in Gainesville, and then Leftwich and Nikhazy in game 2. So
Florida right now holds a 1-0 lead over South Carolina. That game in the bottom of the 5th. A quick scoreboard update since we've been doing it kind of all day. Kentucky beat Auburn 7-6. Arkansas and Mississippi State are in a weather delay of some sort. It's 8-5. Razorbacks top of the 7th. Arkansas has the bases loaded, nobody out. Georgia and Texas A&M now tied in College Station. That game in the top of the 7th. It's 5-5. LSU and Tennessee get started in about half an hour in Knoxville. Vanderbilt and Missouri in about half an hour in Columbia, and then Kentucky and Auburn are going to do it again. Scheduled start, according to SEC Sports, is at 6 p.m. Central Time.
So huge for Ole Miss. Tuesday night, North Alabama and the Rebels. What?
Ginger is telling me that, and I'll pull it up to make sure.
Okay.
Not that I doubt Ginger, I do not.
It is directly in front of us, Neil.
Oh. Well, there you go. I don't even have to pull it up.
Yeah. 3-1 Gamecocks in the 5th inning.
So give me the quick scouting report on Florida. We'll talk about a lot about it over the Oxford Exxon podcast over the course of the week. But
they have a great lineup. They really hit. Howard Schnellenberger dies, by the way, at 87.
Yeah,
I didn't see that. The lineup really hits. Tommy Mace is good on Friday night. They have maybe one of the deepest pitching staffs in the country. But they're kind of scuffling a little bit. It's kind of one of those, when Vanderbilt doesn't look great, it's because they have prospects who aren't necessarily pitchers right now a little bit. Florida's dealing with that. I mean, even Leftwich today, he's hitting some people. He's had some control issues. Florida is going to run a lot of premium arms out at you, but I don't know how many of them are seasoned and completely, kind of, they're still in the project mode a little bit. But that lineup is great. They're going to stress you kind of like Arkansas. They're going to hit for the most part. But you can also get them defensively. Florida's the worst defensive team in the league. It's not overly close. So they will boot it around. They'll do some things. They try to make up for it in other ways. But two very talented pitching staffs, and Ole Miss will face one of the better offenses it sees in the season. And they win a lot of games, so this kind of is one of those self-fulfilling prophecies. But Gainesville, a pretty tough place to play for opponents as well. So Ole Miss has its work cut out for it down there.
Yeah, they put themselves in a spot where one win is
fine. Come back home, and
2 wins is euphoric.
Yeah, come back home with 7-2, and it's all good when the Hawks come to town. And at that point, you're trying to take it serious because you have them at home, and Ole Miss has done really well against top-ranked teams at home, and kind of see how it goes. Arkansas should be on a roll. They've got Auburn next week.
There's a chance that's like 1 versus 3, kind of a deal.
I mean, should be, yeah. What I would expect. I don't hate Carolina's black pinstripes. They're fine.
It's fine. I'm being a snob here. I don't like the Under Armour logo that much.
Oh.
It's bothersome to the eye.
Okay.
On the chest.
That little thing is getting
I would prefer it on the arm.
Okay.
For what they're paying, I understand why they want it on the chest.
Yeah, they want it on the chest.
And I'm trying to decide what I think about the Florida uniform. We're not going to spend much time on uniforms, I promise. We're about done. But, yeah, Ben agrees with me, logo on the sleeve. I don't like the solid top with the pinstripe pant. That's what's bothering me. I knew something was bothering me, and I just had to think about it. Yes.
I didn't even notice it was like that on the gray. I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Just wear a plain gray pant if you're going to wear a solid top. If you're going to wear pinstripes, wear pinstripes.
I'd almost kind of like them to reverse it and wear orange tops. A little more color on the gray.
I don't like gray pinstripes.
Yeah.
Just wear a gray uniform.
Because you think pinstripes should be a home suit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the road of it that you don't like.
Unless you're going to put it on powder blue. Because I do like some of the powder blue pinstripe looks.
A huge few innings for Carolina here. They are good at home.
I mean, they're sitting here right now thinking what a series win over Florida would mean.
Mm-hmm. I mean, battle back. I mean, they got that 6-5 win against Vanderbilt. I mean, they took their lumps with Leiter and Rocker, and then found a way to win. That's how you beat Vanderbilt. You win on Sunday, and then just take your shots on the other two. Try to get into the bullpen, run some pitch counts up.
You been to that park, the new one in Columbia?
I have not. No,
I haven't either. Is it at the same place where the old one was?
Across or same, yeah, in the same vicinity, if nothing else. I don't remember if Sarge Fry was demolished prior to it being built. Has a little bit of a bomb feel, a little more minor league kind of feel to it there. Well,
it's kind of off campus out there towards the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
G-Pit's Monday. We've got where we tape it every Monday at 2. We finally have found a time that seems to work. Knock on. Is there bad weather in Starkville? What are they doing? Got plunked. So you wonder if they did some lightning strike in the vicinity thing and they cleared the stadium for 2 hours.
Yeah, I've seen 7 minutes ago, big storm.
Heavy thunderstorm. Yeah. I stand corrected.
Arkansas has the bases loaded with nobody out
when
they return.
And they're going to have a window to play, actually, because the rain percentages go way down.
Yeah.
They're going to have a shot. All right. Thanks to everybody for being part of it. Again, thanks to the Rogue. Don't forget, get in touch with the Rogue. Go see them at 4450 I-55 North in Jackson or therogue.com. A lot of people starting to think about spring and your wardrobe, people getting out for the first time in a while. If you're weddings and all those things that hopefully are coming back and you want to look your best, get in touch with the people at the Rogue. They've got people that'll hand select stuff for you, tailoring, all of that there at the Rogue. Luke and all the people there, appreciate them being a part of this. Thanks to all of you who are with us. This was kind of fun.
Yeah, see you Thursday night, I guess.
Yeah, we'll do it again on Thursday night for Ole Miss and Florida. We'll have Oxford Exxon podcast on Monday afternoon. We'll talk more about this series. We were planning to talk spring football today, but there's no spring football to talk.
Nope.
Because we didn't get to see it. But we'll be back on Monday, and we'll be back with one of these shows again on Thursday. Again, thanks to everybody for being a part of it. Hope to see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe if you're out in the weather, and we'll talk to you later.